Stan Smith. I'm at the Strange Realms, and today I'll be running a game called the Joy of Extradimensional Spaces, Candlekeep Mysteries. I have a lovely group of players that will be playing today. Let's go around the table real quick and they're just going to introduce themselves.
I am Shane. I am CJ. I'm Ken. And I'm Adam.
All right. So, if you have any idea what streams we do at the store, this is my fourth session of this game. There's approximately over 22 players who've experienced this Candlekeep mystery. I've got really good reviews about the game and what's to come after this session. So, this is our last session of Candlekeep Mysteries, the Joy of Extradimensional Spaces, and we are going to have a dope time. So, without further ado, I am Stan Smith, Dungeon Master. Let's play Candlekeep Mysteries, Joy of Extradimensional Spaces. In the beginning of all that we know, there was a single cosmic event that tore the fabric of space, time, and reality. This singularity created parallel universes and wondrous locations within extra-dimensional spaces. Now, very few know of these extra-dimensional spaces, let alone even how to enter them. But those who have learned to manipulate the quantum mechanics of using space or science magic. And sometimes people enter these extra-dimensional spaces by simple, plain old luck. But the question I ask all of you today is simple. Should you fear what's beyond your understanding? Or will you actually find joy within extra-dimensional spaces? Our story begins within the halls of Candlekeep, within one of the great libraries. Each of you is invited to Candlekeep by the Avowed. These are disciples who vigorously serve Candlekeep. Some of you are still strangers to each other, some are acquaintances. But your purpose within Candlekeep will soon be explained to you. You're being escorted down this long corridor by an Avowed named Cain. He is a very pale, thin, old man, pale complexion. He wears the purple vestments and the hooded robe of the Avowed. Other Avowed you see walking in the hallway are leading groups similar to yourselves as they pass you by. You see they're leading groups of soldiers, wizards, halflings, dwarves. As you pass all of these other adventurers, your eyes slowly make contact. But Cain keeps leading you down this long corridor. Now, as with most corridors within Candlekeep, these halls are well maintained and free of any dust or grime. Now, the corridor you're currently walking through is the northern hallways of the Great Library. Now, the floors in this hallway, they consist of fine dwarven stones masoned to perfection. There's also a long blue carpet in the center of this hallway that occasionally muffles your footsteps as you follow Cain to an unknown location. To your left of this hallway, you see magical flames dancing and crackling but giving off no heat. Massive windows spaced out every 10 feet overlook the city of Candlekeep. These tall windows allow the moon's glow to spill into the hallway from the left. The temperature within Candlekeep is extremely cool, strangely cool, but yet the air is dry. The smell of paper and ink fill your nostrils with each breath you take as you continue this march down the corridor. And as you continue walking to this unknown location, Cain the Avowed, with his hands behind his back as he leads you, slowly turns his head to speak to all of you. Before we get to Fostadia's collection, please introduce yourselves one more time, for I am rather bad with names and I hate to offend any of you party members. As he continues to walk. So, with you.
I am playing Sparky. Well, I guess I'll introduce myself as...
Yes.
Yeah, so this small little gray kobold with this lightning scarring, this blue lightning scarring running down. he is very energetic. He's bouncing all over the place, checking out every little thing. He normally smells like a dog, but since being here at Candlekeep, he's been forced to use one of his abilities to smell like roses as he passes down. He's also outfitted his studded leather and with some of his polished gemstones that's every now and then spark with lightning. He's like, I'm Sparky again. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Okay. Kane's eyes glance over to you. What is your name to describe what you look like?
My name is Salt of the Sea. You can call me Salt. He is a 8 foot tall, pure white tabaxi. He has blue eyes.
And what is a tabaxi?
Tabaxi is it's a bipedal cat, usually themed after jaguars. He's got seafoam blue eyes, chainmail. If you walk by him, he smells like salt in the ocean. He's got a amulet of thunderbolts and a hammer, and he has a cloak that looks like manta wings as he walks through.
Oh, that's right. Very good. Sorry.
I am playing Ionis and Twee. I am a tiefling, gray, with a bluish tint, golden eyes. The cloak that you see on me is a black cloak with silver indents into it. If you look at the patch on the arm, there's something in Inferno. Only if you can speak it. You might know what it says. Otherwise than that, I have on my leather armor and, studded leather. And kind of a dagger tucked in to one of my sides with a chain wrapped around it.
Awesome. And lastly,
Swann is a half-elf bard. He's about medium height. He wears a long green cloak. This time his hood is pulled back, and you can notice predominantly he has a scar running down the right side of his face, and that eye on that side is a different color than his left eye. He's wearing a amulet that looks like it's made out of silver in the shape of a swan around his chest, over top of a elven mail shirt.
awesome. Okay. This juncture, Kane feels that he understands your names and he's more comfortable with all of you. So, now that I am familiar with all of you, he says as you continue this walk, let me inform you why you're here. You're here to help us find a wizard by the name of Matreus. Matreus was hired by citizens of a town called Mayrin to help stop a deep and creeping darkness that was lurking in a nearby village called Vermilion. Matreus heard of extra-dimensional spaces that contain magic spells, powerful weapons, and wondrous items. So, in an attempt to help the people of Mayrin, Matreus came to Candlekeep, where he was granted access to the Vastandia collection. Now, Vastandia is a very powerful sorceress who studied and mastered the art of extra-dimensional spaces. Her collection was bequeathed to us upon her death, and that is where we are going, for this is where Matreus was last seen. He went missing 2 days ago. Others have been trying to help us, but unfortunately, we have no leads. And that is where you all come in. And based on some of your reputations, your attitudes, I'm hoping that you can help us all here at Candlekeep, because we do not want word to get out that clientele visits Candlekeep and disappears. And at that moment, he comes to a doorway and he stops. There's 2 large oak doors. To the side of the door, you see a brass plaque with the words, "The Vastandia Collection, donated to Candlekeep upon her death." He reaches up. You see the purple cloaks hanging down from his arms, and he pushes open these 2 doors. There's no noise, no squeak. This is a testament to the cleanliness of Candlekeep. As the doors open up, you enter a modest-sized study filled with lots of books and a roaring fire. Magical orbs above your heads provide light to this library. There's also a raised octagonal study at the far end. Near the fireplace, though, you immediately notice a strange-looking elf with bluish-gray skin, dark hair. The elf is sporting an oversized red hat with gold trim. One side of the trim of the hat is flipped upward, almost similar to a pirate hat. He has a well-braided, long black ponytail that runs down his back. He dresses in pompous finery, wears all sorts of flashy rings, even has gold caps on top of his ears. He wears a gold breastplate and appears to be reading a book by the fireplace. Sparkling glow in his eyes, this elf turns his attention towards all of you. The doors behind you close as Kane exits. The elf closes the book, grins at all of you, very cockily like. I am Pharrell from Waterdeep. I see the Avowed do not trust my investigative skills, so they choose to find others. He starts walking over towards all of you, stopping over at you and looking down. You're not an investigator. What do they call you?
I'm Sparky.
By the gods, are they getting that desperate and there's no faith in my abilities? Nice to meet you, Sparky. And he bows with a disgusted look on his face, but nevertheless he's trying to be as polite as possible towards you.
I bow, and some of my pebbles fall out of my cargo pockets onto the floor.
And when that happens, you hear the elf go, ugh, kobolds. So he sort of moves very carefully, trying to avoid stepping on any pebbles. This majestic-looking elf, very pompous with all the equipment and outfit he has, steps up in front of Salt. He stands at your chest and he looks up at you, trying to meet your blue eyes.
It's a very toothy grin. Just...
So, what do they call you, my furry friend?
I go by Salt.
And so, do you feel you have the investigative skills to help locate this Matreus?
Bakar will guide us in any ways he sees fit.
Ah, the feline deities. That's adorable. And he taps you on your shoulder, mockingly. Okay. He slowly turns and he looks over towards you. Ah, warrior of the dark. You seem to be the type that has sticky fingers, if you will. I am Pharrell. What do they call you?
You can call me Ionis, but I like what you have as for your style.
He looks up and down his outfit and goes, I appreciate your taste, because I obviously wear the most finest finery. You could probably use some of my tips, my little friend, but... And what skills do you bring to the table to help the Avowed find this Matreus?
Some investigation skills, and I know when I see something handsome as well.
Ah, well, you were looking at the right elf. He sort of smiles, and you sort of feel like a type of flirtatious going back and forth between the elf and the tiefling. He goes to turn to you, he stops, looks back at you, and he looks at you, but he's nice talking to you as he's looking directly at you. And my sticky finger friend, you should know that, and his eyes fall back on you, Candlekeep is filled with magical wards that prevent any type of effect or spells of flame. Be wary, they know everything and everything that happens.
Dearly noted.
And he looks back at you. My half-breed brother.
This again.
Why do you find yourself in party with such a uncanny group?
They're my brothers in combat. Something you may not know anything about.
Well, that is not necessarily true. And I'm making an investigation roll. No, I'm sorry, history. And it's a 10 or higher.
A 17.
Okay. You immediately recognize him and his name, Pharrell. You know him, he's equivalent. He's Waterdeep's most highest ranking detective. He's on equivalent to Sherlock Holmes. He's that good. You've heard of him. Well, hopefully your style of clothing and your choice of company is not as good as your investigative skills, I hope.
He looks at you and you see the scar on the side of his face begin to fade and flicker a little bit, kind of like a candle. And he just rolls his eyes and says, "Oh, pretense, just what we needed on this adventure."
Will you be joining us for?
I will not be joining because right now I am offended. I don't need your help. Pharrell can find anything and anyone. In fact, I know Matreus' last known physical location within this chamber. He raises his hand, he points to the far end of the chamber. You see there's an octagonal enclave. And it's raised about maybe by several steps. And there's a large desk. If you get the opportunity on that desk, you'll notice there are some notes that Pharrell scratched onto several pieces of paper. You may find some clues that'll help you out. But since the Abao does not care for my talents, I may have to leave. So no, my tiefling friend, I will not stay and help you. You don't need it. You have a half-breed.
Half is more than enough.
So he starts walking towards the door, holding this book in his hand, and he goes up to you, and he takes the book and he taps you on the chest with it. He gives it to you. Freedom is not free, my friend. The book on the cover, it says The Heavens of Celestia and the Hells of Avernus. That's the title of the book. Oh, and as far as you know, there's also a strange book that may give you clues as well on that desk. It is a book called The Joy of Extradimensional Spaces. You can't miss it. The great Mordenkainen's visage is on the cover of that book. Let's see how powerful of sleuths you are in trying to locate Matreus' whereabouts. Oh, then I'm going to be off and return to Waterdeep. I hear there is a murder of a young woman of the Yellowcrest family that needs to be solved, and I think I am the man to take care of that. He begins to walk again towards the doors, and he puts his hands on one of the handles, and he sort of turns back and he looks at all of you with a very cocky grin on his gray face, and you see his teeth are beautifully white.
Definitely see you around.
Does giving him like just a quick look? Is he taking anything with him?
You can make a perception check.
That's a 19.
Yeah, you see nothing of value, and you heard him telling him about any books. There's death spells throughout this. No, so you see, and the only thing he had in his hand was a book he gave to him, and he put it in his chest. And he says once again, freedom is not free for all of you. Enjoy the book, my feline friend. But something wicked this way comes. And I don't want to be here when it comes knocking at the doors. Good luck, my friends. I'm sure we'll run into each other in some other future adventure. He does this, and he bows at the door to all of you.
I bow again.
I don't bow, but I go, oh, definitely.
That's good.
He sort of glances at you very longly, but then you see a disgusted look on his face as he looks at the pebbles on the ground, and his eyes fall on you.
So I'm just giving him kind of like a smirk and toothy grin, and just like, and walks away.
And Alan turns his back pointedly, just cold press play. You know he's compensating for something.
Be sure to wash your hands, my brother, my half-breed. And he walks out. The doors close. So now you're all alone, and just put your figures inside that doorway. Give me that guy. Thank you.
I immediately go to the door and open it and look down the hall. He says something wicked comes knocking. I watch.
You open up the door, it's that beautiful hallway, and you see two about, not Cain, they sort of turn and look in your direction. They bow their heads, and they just start talking again. And across from them are the large windows that overlook the city of Candlekeep.
He's gone.
He left. So
what's in the book?
Alright, so now in this library, there's places of interest that might catch your attention. There's a fireplace. There's all the books in Fastandia's collections. There's several stack books throughout here. There's actually a desk in the far end, which Pharrell was gesturing to. So we'll start, I guess, what would you like to do at this point?
So we'll take the book and pull it open and flip through it for a little bit by the fireplace and kind of like lounges out, sprawled out, just soaking in the warmth.
What's your intelligence?
So
8.
That's how I imagine he's laying.
Make an intelligence roll. DC is a 10.
17.
Oh, you can read some of this common tongue in this book, and it says basically it's a story about angels wanting to escape heaven. and devils wanting to escape hell. And it just goes on using other gibberish and religions and stuff like that. So,
My God's not in here. Just like kind of like puts the book down.
the fireplace you're at, there's roaring flames. There's no heat coming from it. It's obviously some type of magic, or maybe an illusion, you don't know. But it keeps you visually. It keeps you very occupied as a cat man. What would you like to do?
Did you throw the book?
I kind of like throw it towards this little table over here.
Oh.
Not in the fire. No.
Okay, I was gonna go and pick up the book. I'm like, remember the books here. We don't want to do anything stupid. I'm going to actually go into the direction that he mentioned about the octagon area.
Okay, put your character by that desk, front or side, or yeah, you put it front or side.
Put me right
That's
here.
perfect. Okay. Would you like to join him or go somewhere else?
I'm gonna look around on the shelves and see if I can find a book that will help me understand primordial.
Okay. Make a, let's see, you do an investigation roll.
Okay.
And 13 or higher. 14.
Fail.
Yeah, there's all sorts of books. You're constantly looking for that, but you just can't find it in this collection. Kobold. Sparky.
After checking out into the hallway, I look back. We look around now? Investigate? Sure. I start gyrating with my hammer as I ritually cast the detect magic, and then I'm just going to speed run around this room looking for any detections of magic.
Go put yourself by the fireplace.
Okay.
There's magic throughout this room, but as you start to run, there's a lot of magic by the fireplace where you see this large cat now, man, sitting on the ground. You guys sort of make eye contact with each other. Make a perception roll.
That is a 4.
Yeah, you can't notice, but there's strong magic coming from the fireplace area. Okay.
Okay.
When you approach this desk, it's a really large desk. You see there's like an old letter opener made of wood. There's 2 pages of old notes that have been scribbled on. You also see there's a feathered pen, strange-looking inkwell that resembles a skull. You see there's certain candelabras of silverish. You see 2 pristine large skulls. One is obviously human, the other one is some type of strange beast. And there's also a large gold book. And as you look at the side of this large gold book, you see the words, "The Joy of Extradimensional Spaces." Okay, you.
Okay. I am frustrated, but I walk over to the desk to investigate as well.
Okay, you see Ionis there looking at all these objects, and he's staring at this large book. There is this large book, but you see 2 pages of notes that appear to be, some of them have drawings on it, some have notes. So you have a book and you have notes.
Okay, I'm gonna try to read the notes.
All right. Take those 2 papers and pass it over to me.
Very, very bad.
And just to give you a heads up, the book that you see that says The Joy of Extradimensional Spaces, it's a really heavy tome. It almost looks, it's thick. And it's made of ornately tooled leather, but it has gold filigree throughout it. One particular interest, though, is there's an imposing bust of a spellcaster on the front, bald with like a goatee. The spellcaster has a red ruby on his neck, clothing area, and there's also another red ruby on the leather latch that you would use to open up this book. Make an Arcana check, please. DC's 12.
That's a 19 on the die.
You immediately, per your studies, recognize the image of Morden Caden. He is the Forgotten Realm's most renowned wizard. He's also, from your studies, known as a planeswalker. And he was known to have the abilities to create extra-dimensional spaces and walk through them. He talked about experiencing worlds beyond yours, other dimensions, alternate realities. And a lot of other people tried to copy and follow his footsteps.
I relate that to.
Okay.
Getting close to fire, seeing that it's magical, and feeling that there's no heat, I stick my hand into the fire.
Okay. Last one you did. Okay, stick your hand. It goes through. No heat whatsoever. The flames actually move around.
I go into the fire.
You go into the fire, lit up, and the flames all go around, but there's no heat. You look up at this small kobold standing there with the dancing flames all around him, but none of them are touching him. It seems to be avoiding him. You can make a perception roll.
12.
12 DC plus 12. You think you see faces in the flames in anguish. You notice them going and fading, coming in and out. Sparky doesn't recognize it. Sparky is just very happy to be standing in fire that's not killing him.
Right, no.
What? It's Sparky's now in control of flames.
No, that's fire looks at. Many faces. Look closer. A kind of space. Saul will point it out to us.
Since you had a bad roll and you just see the fire, you don't see what the cat is talking about. You clearly see what looks like faces in torment disappearing and reappearing in the flames.
I just stick my head back into the flames and look around.
Your perception roll disadvantage, 12 on
Disadvantage?
Yep.
So we need to
Or maybe that's 9.
Yeah, you still can't see what Salt was trying to explain to you. So, Salt, is there anything you'd like to do at this point?
I'll get Smoggy story like, maybe we should look around more. There seems to be interesting stuff over this way.
Alright, so put your characters down there.
I'll run over that way. Detect magic's still up.
Yeah, there is magic. Your eyes immediately go up and you see these magical orbs of light on the ceilings. They look like flames, but there's no candles. And they're circular, and they're all over the room. A lot of the magic that you detect as well is magical, the magic boards the elf was talking about that prevent theft or any type of spells that create fire. So, over here, there's all sorts of books that you can see in the area. Some of the books they talk about. This is Fastandi's collection. Some of them talk about different planes of existence. As you take a few out, you glance over them. Some of them discuss alternate realities, mysterious spaces in between. It's obvious that Fastandia was very into the topic of extra-dimensional spaces, trying to almost match that of Morden Canaan. Okay. Both of you.
Because that's the spaces are in the
Now, you guys, at this point, there's nothing else of value right there. If you want, you can go over to your party and see what they're doing.
Alright.
You guys over there?
kind of as they're walking over, I shout kind of loud, like, not shout, but like stage whisper across, look for a scepter.
At that moment, when you say that word, suddenly electricity begins to fill the air.
Oh, Sparky?
No, not me.
Not me.
Alright. So suddenly electricity begins to fill the air. The hairs on all of your heads and bodies begins to stand on end as magical energy begins to fill this chamber. Loose papers and light books begin to swirl around the fireplace hearth. And at that very moment, you start seeing gray bricks appear manifest out of nowhere in front of the fireplace. And they start stacking one on top of the other with quick speed. And they begin to form and manifest an extra-dimensional doorway. Put that right in front of the fireplace, please.
What think they knock on the door?
You also see magical lights and orbs dancing around the frame of this beautiful doorway that just manifested. Inside the door, light bends, twists, and swirls. Suddenly, as everything begins to clear in the doorway, each of you notice a beautiful foyer of some unknown manner on the other side of that doorway. The energy rippling around it makes the area look like whirlpools on top of the ocean's surface. Something odd begins to happen as all of you watch this extra-dimensional doorway. Let's make perception rolls, please, around the table. Anybody gets 15 or higher.
23. 21.
14. 18.
12.
Okay, so you two notice that some of the bricks are slowly fading out of existence. So you get the idea that this portal may not be open to you.
We have to move quickly. I turn and I cast Mage Hand and grab the golden book off the desk.
Okay.
So I carry that with me. I put it in a sack, but I'm not physically touch it.
Okay.
And I start moving toward the door.
All right. The extra-dimensional doorway?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Does this have a drawer?
There's no drawer.
Speed of mine.
Okay.
I run over onto Salty.
Jumping on his shoulder, Salty, what are you going to do?
Adventure! Pulls out sword and shield and just trots off.
Okay, you guys go through the doorways. I gotta set up this other scene. Let me get this out real quick.
Sparky's fine with it, but...
Yeah, we were like, look for, because we saw this and we were like, look for a wand. I'm like, is that a wand?
There's a picture of a scepter. So
Yeah.
look for the scepter. That turned out to be the word.
Yeah, it's cool. And y'all brought that with y'all?
No,
No,
this
he
was,
did it.
you had it there. We were just looking at
No, I'm saying y'all brought it with you. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's good. I think one of us can read.
And he sent us this, and Ken pointed out the anagram.
I was like, because he said space, then he said spaces, and then I was like, wait, spaces, and then he said unseen. I'm like, wait a minute. It's like,
He's like, all of those first letters are caps, and I'm like, oh, it's just a poem, but it's not. It's
Alright, so let's take those figures out the way. I have a very long thing I have to set up in the middle. So.
I'll just put it right here for her.
What are you saying?
the first letter of all those phrases.
they're all
I'm gonna come to you guys. Sparky, I'll be on your left.
Okay.
I can't see if it's clear on that side.
close my eyes.
I was hoping I wasn't going to roll so crappy because I'm sure there was a book
Read it
I
with
needed
that.
in that room.
Because when you're reading it, you're like, wait a minute.
All right.
Scepter.
I knew how to read myself.
And with that said,
I don't.
But I was thinking that, yeah, I was like, we got to find one.
As they were coming, would look for one.
you each emerge from the portal into a grand foyer of some unknown mansion. Now, the portal you exited stands between you and the main doors of this mysterious manor. The ceilings are about 15 feet above your heads, and there's a long corridor in front of you going to the left and to the right. Directly in front of you, there's a set of stairs that go straight upward. You notice several cats run by really quick the foyer. One of the cats runs up the stairs. Another cat keeps going all the way to the right.
Children.
From where you're standing, there's a few doors that seem ajar also to the right. And at that very moment, an old man with a white beard, a long pointy blue hat, blue robes, odd trinkets and packs all around, satchels all around his waist, comes walking from your left down the corridor holding a large tray with eating and cooking utensils. Stuck under one arm is a large red crystal, and there's a large, thick book. As the old man walks over and notices all of you, his eyes open up widely.
Guys, I think we got the wizard.
My eyes open up widely too.
His eyes are so white, they match the white of his long beard. And he suddenly drops his tray, the crystal, and the book to the ground as a loud shh in the hallway. It echoes throughout.
I run to catch the crystal.
It already hit the floor. Everything hit the floor. The book hit the floor. The utensils, everything hit the floor. The old man says, "By the gods, is this real?" Now you're closest to him, so he goes to very carefully, with a shaky hand, goes to touch you to see if you're real. You're going to allow him to do this.
You shouldn't touch that one. It sparks when you touch him.
When you say that, he looks at you, but then he looks past you. The portal! By the gods, I've been stuck here for 20 years trying to find out the Standia's command word to open it on this side, and I have yet to discover it, but now here you are! Scepter! Scepter it was on the other side! Oh, I thought I was going to be stuck in this mansion for all eternity!
Wait a minute, 20 years?
I'm not good at math, but that sounds more than 2 days.
Wait, who are you?
And he goes down, he picks up the crystal, and he holds on to it, and he looks over at you, and goes, I am Matreus
is the wizard. He bows his head. I've been stuck in this mansion for the past 20 years, and I've been trying to find a way out, but I could not think of the command word.
Is the portal still open?
Yeah, the portal's still open and swung behind you guys.
Ways open.
My friends, since you were so kind to figure this out, I've studied so much in this mansion, I can keep that portal open to allow you to experience the wonders within Fastandia's manor. There are great, powerful weapons, magic spells you've unheard of, and wondrous items. You can have a look. I will hold the portal open for I know how, but you only have a small amount of time. Keep that in mind.
My eyes are transfixed on the giant crystal he is.
You can make a perception roll.
Salt's gonna stare at him quizzically and kind of figure out if he's crazy or if he's actually like telling the truth.
So let's start with you. Okay. It's a beautiful crystal. It's cut not perfect. It's a small little crack, probably from when it fell on the ground. And you think you see moving swishes inside. It's obviously some type of magic item that this wizard has in his hand. Make an insight check.
While that's going on, I'm gonna look over to you and go, our job is just to find him and get out. What's your call?
21.
Well, killing it. Based on everything, as your eyes meet his, as he looks at you, you can tell he is being honest. He seems scared because he thinks maybe the portal will close on him. He doesn't want to be in here anymore. He wants to go back to his family. You can tell he's being honest with you. There's no lying. He's very genuinely happy to see you guys, and he generally wants to leave because he's been here for 20 years. But each of you know it hasn't been 20 years. What would you like to do?
I'd say over to you, I'm like, we were supposed to just get him and get out, right? That was the
job, yes.
You can join me and leave if you like, but I've seen many things in this mansion. There's also talk of something very wicked coming into our world. If you wish to survive, my fellow adventurers, there are great wondrous items here. But all I tell you is this: whatever you do, do not open up the red door on the low level.
Red door.
You said on the lower level? Red door on the lower.
Yes, the basement of this manor.
While we have fulfilled our charge, I would like to look around a bit. There may be some things in here that would be beneficial. I kind of look over at the wizard, and did you share with us your insight?
Not yet, but Salt seems a little bit more relaxed and it's like he seems honest.
I am honest. I want to leave and see my friends. It's been 20 years.
It's actually only been 2 days for us, unfortunately.
Nonsense.
Or that you've been missing that we were told.
As you know, things work differently in interdimensional space, and, well, 2 days for us, 20 years for you. And I signal the mage hand to go over to the hand that he's carrying the ruby in, and I go to shake his hand. Thank you for offering to hold the portal open.
He reaches with his other hand that he's holding, and he shakes your magic hand.
Oh, that is a very adorable trick, my friend. Very adorable indeed.
That's me, adorable all day.
But my magical friend, just heed my warning. The house is wondrous, but respect all things within these walls.
That's me. Everything about me is authentic. And you see the scars start to slide across his face a bit.
Make a intimidation check. A roll, rather. His will be...
That was good timing.
Huh?
That was good timing with the music.
He's very confident.
13.
That is another excellent parlor trick, my young apprentice. Soon you will be a master such as myself. Mind you, I'm going to go, but you have a short amount of time, so do not waste it. There is something in here for each of you. Your destiny is within.
Sparky's been inching closer towards this crystal, drool running down his mouth. Can I Sparky have?
Just before you leave, do you happen to have an inkling of idea of what's wicked that's coming?
The visions I've seen is a mist and shadow. That is all I can find. I'm pretty sure there's some more information, but it would have to be found within the other side of the portal in Candlekeep. I will alert the about and let them know the visions I've had of the shadow and the mist. Maybe they have a better idea, but something wicked this way comes. Mark my words.
That sounds familiar.
Alan glances over at Ionis and says, "Parlor trick." You get the impression he has no idea what the wizard was talking about.
Alright, so at that moment, Matreus,
Thank you all. Remember, you have a small amount of time.
he grabs the crystal, it's like a football. He looks at all of you, he looks down at you, and smiles. He goes right through the portal. And as he does, it ripples like water, and you see he goes into the other side of Vastandi's Candlekeep library as you see him looking around. But then he seems to be talking to somebody. From where you're at, you really can't make out what he's saying. But then finally it gets clear, and you hear him say,
By the gods, you are real and alive. No. It must have been the shard I dropped. No, please, no.
and then at that very moment, you hear Matreus let out a blood-curdling shriek that sends shivers down all your spines. And at that very moment,
I'm gonna turn her back and go.
take your first step forward, the portal disappears.
Someone just like roll in.
You roll, and so you go banging into the main doors of the mansion. The portal's gone. Matreus, last thing you heard was him screaming.
I use the mage hand to try to touch all the four corners of the door. And as I feel the door, oh shit!
I would say it just to make sure. Scepter.
Nothing happens. So now,
Scepter back.
Ooh.
Oh, well, they're doing that. Would you like to go on an adventure story?
You took the crystal.
Well, maybe we can find a way. It might be there. Sounds like you left it.
right now you guys are standing in this foyer. Around your feet are some cooking utensils, a tray, and actually the book that he was holding that he didn't take with him. And there's two large doors behind you where he ran into, and you got two corridors to your left and to the right, multiple doors, and you got stairs going up. So you guys are now in this mansion. It's also well lit, by the way, because of all of the gas lanterns that are on all the walls.
I pick up the book.
So one thing that we do know.
I was gonna pick it up and hand it to you guys.
Okay.
One thing that we do know. One day here is at least 10 years.
Who's the wizard in the group?
I kind of am.
We have the closest is a bard and an artificer.
You both can make this. Let's do Arcana, and it's going to be 14 or higher DC.
Natural 20.
Oh, you got the first nat 20. First nat 20! You?
Oh, it was a 3.
Oh, okay. You have some study and some idea of how extra-dimensional spaces work, and time is different. But you also know that in places that are stuck in between, per your studies, there is no rest. There is no sleep.
I pass that great news along.
Ooh. Reserve everything you have, I guess.
Sparky doesn't need sleep or rest.
Unfortunately, the others must do.
Okay, and as you tell them that the book you have in your hands, it's a brown leather book, and in front of the cover it reads, From Faerun to Hell and Back Again. And it's, as you look through it, it's a story about a group of brave warriors. They vanquished a legendary evil, banishing its soul to the depths of Avernus, or Hell. And the book also never really names the warriors that have done this. It just talks about them banishing a demon. And the only name for the demon in the book is He Who Was.
That's not all messed up.
When he comes back, will it be he who is?
We're looking at now.
We're actually gonna.
Oh, Sparky.
You want to try it backwards?
He who was?
No, the Spectre backwards.
Red Pex?
Say it again.
Red Pex?
At that very moment, the house almost feels like a light rumble, and you hear a voice throughout the halls.
Was a mistake. This is no house of learning. Just death.
Oh,
I've had experience with this before.
Great Sky Dragon!
So,
Sounds like we're in the right place.
party, what would you like to do? Like I said, there's a corridor, there's doors, there's stairs, and there's the main doors behind you. Let's, Sparky's. Oh, you're gonna be on the cat shoulder?
Yeah,
You hear the voice, you just crawl up.
Little shock.
he's checking the integrity of this hall.
The floor,
Making sure nothing's gonna crumble down around
it's
him.
just hardwood floors throughout. It's well maintained, and you hear the light hum from the gas lanterns that are on the walls. It's well kept. You pick up a small, faint smell of cat urine, but not coming from your buddy that you ventured with before.
Eeny, meeny, miny.
So, what would you like to do?
Guys, let's check a door. And he just walks over to like the closest door and
It's like just
might as well find out.
Right up, I was gonna ask him anyway.
I'm with you.
I'll walk over there with you as well.
I will stay like 2 squares back, but I'll follow.
Get up the thingy. That's what it's doing.
There you
Trying to make sure I read the right description to you guys. That door is actually ajar that you approach to the right of the stairs. When you approach that door, you start picking up the smells and the aroma of food, and cooking permeates from this room. You also hear what it sounds like somebody dicing food on a cutting board. Now, the rest of you to get closer, you hear the sounds reminiscent of a kitchen. There is light coming from this door, and it is ajar.
Caution to open the door.
Sparky runs in.
Just give me that
The smell of food was too enticing.
Looking into this room, you see a large iron stove that takes up one wall. The rest of the room is filled with long tables and racks lined with hanging pots and pans and cooking utensils. Everything's actually really sparkly clean in this kitchen. Suddenly, from a room at the far end, a strange creature comes flying in your direction. This creature almost looks like a Pillsbury doughboy. It has back legs. It's pretty short and stocky with very tiny legs and arms. It's holding a long wooden spoon, and its back legs are fluttering. Its face looks like a baby seal. It's got a long fat nose that covers its huge grin face as its tiny black eyes looks in your direction. This creature starts hovering towards all of you and immediately speaks. How cool and be of help to stand these yes. Oh, joy, cooking, mending clothes, Kuman will do whatever you like. He sort of bows and he holds the little spoon out and he's looking at all of you, his head going up and down, watching you.
Sparky, is this one of your friends?
Having done my research into my own abilities, I guess, in Candlekeep, do I recognize what this thing might be?
Let's do a Arcana check. And 10 or higher.
Oh, I got a 9, so that's plus 5, so 14.
This creature looks like a homunculus.
This Sparky's been reading about homunculi. This.
Now, when you say that, Sparky, Cumin, this little creature, sort of hovers down towards you. Homunculi, I belong to Stanley, little one. You look like you need food. I make soup for you.
Is he offering soup in front of my face right now?
No, he's pointing his little spoon. There's a pot with all sorts of stuff boiling, and you're assuming the soup is over there.
Sparky said, yes, food. Also, are you okay?
He's sweet Sparky. I mean,
Fine. This is excellent. First, Bastani ascends, master betray. Yes, and now, my friends. Do you all have names?
I'm Ionis.
Flies over and looks at you and just starts eyeing you up and down with a huge smile. Unfortunately, you don't see the entire mouth because his fat nose is hanging down below it. He sort of flies and just hovers towards you.
And I look at him and say, my name is Alan, and the mage hand comes out and index finger pokes him in the top.
He goes and starts hovering and fly up next to you. Oh, You were like the many cats in the house.
Yes, they grow into me. My name is Salt.
Salt, we have food for you all. And he goes towards you. The name, little one?
Sparky.
Sparky is going to have soup. I make soup for you all.
Meat and soup.
It is the duck spice soup.
Sounds good on it.
It does, and there's aroma that's hitting all of you guys. It smells great. You notice several cats come out of that back pantry area and walk around. Two of the cats go towards you, Salt, and they start rubbing your legs and going all around your legs. You immediately pick this up as affection, as these cats are just loving on you.
Catfish.
And you're petting the cat. Now, as you're doing that, Cumin goes over and he's grabbing all these wooden bowls and he's placing them next to the stove. And he's taking his wooden ladle and he starts dripping the soup into these bowls. And as you're petting the cat, he says, the cats are very important for Standy's house. They feed the house. And he starts pouring all the soup. He's pouring all the soup.
Does he feed the house?
Feed many things in this house needs to eat. The cats, they feed the house. And he swings over with a bowl of the soup, this duck soup, and he puts it right in front of you.
Take it. And his whole maw just
You just eat
into
it
it.
all, and it is the greatest soup you've ever tried. And he's just boggling. At one moment, you see his eyes roll back on Sparky's eyes. His eyes roll back in his head. It's great. He says that, and he starts bringing soup bowls to all of you. You can ask questions.
Okay. I look at you first and just that's Sparky. I'm like, is he?
Yeah, he's fine, and you see he's in bliss. Fine, it's the best soup on there. You can try it too.
I'm gonna sit down on the floor and I'm kind of absolutely plucking my harp and I look down at the bowl and I look up. Where's the ducks come from?
We get food here, brought in all the time. Many small portals throughout the mansion.
I lean forward and take a small sip.
When you do that, the rest of you see Cumin spin around to his back, go on his shoulder, and sort of put his hands like this and look at very lovingly as you're about to drink the soup. And it's the greatest soup you ever tasted. It hits your lips and you're like, gratitude moment of the best soup you ever had as a child.
This is quite good. I've had a lot of good soup and this is quite good.
Is Pistania here?
Now, when he mentions Castani is here, you know with your studies that Humaculi, they live only if their wizard or their connected spellcaster lives. If Cumin dies, Astandia would die. And if Astandia died, Cumin would die. So, your question again?
Is Pistania here?
No. Just stand it with on a mission. But I think she went to go find her love, the beautiful handsome pirate.
Alan looks up, he takes another sip and this is really, really delicious. Are you the only servant here?
I am not. Only one Humaculi here, but if you find others, for example, if you wish, the dining room is on the other side, and he points to a door at the far end, a large door. But beyond the dining room is the outside of Arboretum, and you will find many fairies outside. They take care of the plants, but do not trust the fairies. They are harmless, but are very mysterious, and do not interact with the fairies. Those that came in the past were gone forever.
As soon as he says fairies, the scar on my face, which is now kind of slit to the left side, just starts throbbing like it's infected. And you look up and fairies. You say, fairies?
You say that, Cumin spins around, goes over to a cupboard, and grabs a big loaf of bread and brings it to you. You eat I used to tell you. It's good. And yes, fairies, small, fairies, beautiful, but mysterious they are. Do not, if you go outside, do not to speak with them. Do not interact with them. Just Cumin on this.
That's excellent advice. Don't speak to the fairies.
So they Cupid's disappear.
The plants.
Oh, okay.
So I'm eating the bread, just sitting there,
Sparky wipes.
dipping it into the soup.
Okay.
Salt's not eating. He's just kind of like seeing the cats or look at the cats and like kind of like yeah, and, like see if they
The
want.
cats are just loving you. You're like catnip to them. They are all loving on top of you. There's two of them.
He kind of sees that they're like trying to lead him somewhere or take him anywhere.
The two cats actually go outside into the hallway. You can put everybody inside the room though, please. Now in that room you're at, there is a door. There's a door to the side, which I pointed to. There's a back patio or pantry, and you have your main door. So the cats actually go outside into the hallway. They turn, they look in your direction.
Should we follow the cats?
The rest of you guys are like, what?
In between mouthfuls of his soup, Sparky wipes his mouth and he says, Cumin, Sparky wants to make homunculi too. How do I make you?
Well, you need to understand. The study was trying to make brother. But unfortunately, the laws say I can be only one cumin for Pastandia. So she tries downstairs or upstairs is in the lab where she makes homunculi. There you might find my brother, sisters sleeping, only waiting for the right person to wake them.
Sparky can make him all that. Sparky, steady, Sparky has magic. Sparky made brother for you.
Very well, but whatever you do not open up the red door on the lower level, for Pastandia warns Kumin never ever go into door. In fact, she is locking the door, only door she is locking in mansion.
So danger once again behind this red door.
Is there a key to that door?
Kumin do not know.
Are the other servants here like you, or are there a few that may be a bit more temperamental?
I make a persuasion, not persuasion, charisma. Sorry, and that'll be your 15,
22.
of course. The word you use is the two of the cumin. I would help you if you would make smaller word.
Are they helpful, like yourself, or are they angry, upset, mean?
If you disrespect the house, yes, he says.
Good to know.
At that moment, he's getting more soup, and he's pouring it into your bowl.
This is really good. Just to let you know. Thank you.
Oh, and he spins around like a little child has been told by a parent, and he has a big smile on his gray face. You actually see blush of red appearing on his cheeks as he smiles, and he looks over at you and goes over and starts, make more. Starts cooking again.
And I touch his belly. And I walk off.
So, you guys can there's more questions you can ask, or you can decide what you want to do.
Sparky continues eating from swimming pools anyway.
Okay.
Salt will look in the back pantry for alcohol.
I'm gonna go glance in the dining room.
I'll go with you. And I'm going to
Stand in. I'm gonna stand in the
I'll
doorway.
start with you. Okay, you look, take a peek in this area. Another cat comes darting out, sort of stops, runs around your legs, making sure it rubs its body on your legs, and starts darting across the kitchen and outside. There's all sorts of shelves in this pantry. They're stocked with flour, vegetables, some dried preserved meats. You also see other staples. There's enough dry goods in here, probably to sustain this household for a very long time. The aroma is actually overwhelming with the spices, but you do see a spice rack that only has not spices, but you see 3 healing potions.
No catnip?
No catnip. 3 healing potions. So, you two, what do you do?
I'm just gonna look into the dining room and see what I can see in there.
And you're in the dining room.
No, he went into this pantry.
Oh, it's a pantry. Oh.
You're opening the door?
Yes. With the mage hand.
Okay, so the mage hand's opening the door.
Correct. Yeah, sorry, I should be more specific.
Let's take that out of there.
This one?
Yeah. Large windows, the first thing you notice at the far end, covers an entire wall. And it overlooks 3 planted flower beds filled with all sorts of vegetation. You also see numerous fairies flying to and fro. There's a lot, maybe about 2 dozen or so. You can't tell if they're male or female. They have a light translucence to them, but their wings are fluttering. There's some fairy dust that dissipates behind them as they go about tending to the plants outside of the glass. Beyond that, you see what appears to be a strange vortex of purple, a miasmic blue, if you will, in the distance. There's also in this dining room a very lovely long dining room table. You see 6 very beautiful chairs with scarlet leather cushioned seats and beautiful gold rivets down their sides. There appears to be another chair in the corner, slightly broken, it's up on an angle. A door to your right, going out to probably another room. And there are large tapestries hanging in the ceiling, and they depict the vines and cats. Other than that, there's really nothing interesting in here. Other than
I kind of walk into the room.
you gotta put your character in there.
And I'm kind of studying the purple miasma, and I begin to thumb through the book that I have to see if there's a description of anything similar to that.
Which book? The book, the old man?
The gold book.
Okay. You open up the gold book, and each page is blank. 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 All blank pages.
So I try the other book. It's confused.
Okay. You start looking through the other book, and it's just a story about the adventurers that banished some type of ancient evil into the depths of hell. Okay, Ionis.
I'm walking behind him.
Okay, put your character in there.
And do I see that chair that's kind of off?
Yeah, it's in the corner,
Okay.
and you see it. It's just sort of tilted on the corner.
I'm gonna walk over to it. Sorry.
Okay.
And kind of investigate it.
Make an investigation roll. 10 or higher.
That's a 9 on the die plus investigation. That's a 2, so 11.
The chair is on an angle, very poor carpentry skills. And it seems probably that's why they put it in the corner. It just doesn't match all the other chairs in this room.
I'm gonna take a knife and just kind of like lift the end of it and look underneath.
So with the knife,
Yeah.
with the dagger?
Yeah, with a dagger.
You take your dagger and you sort of lift it up. While you're standing, for some reason, all the other 6 chairs, you hear them slowly moving. You see them slowly coming outward. Suddenly, at that moment, a roar. The chairs come to life. You see the seats are actually tongues. All of these chairs are mimics.
Okay.
I was going to sit on one. I'm glad I didn't. Yes.
I found your potion.
I lean back to the doorway.
Help! It's sick. Bring flour.
Wherever we were eating, I'm still just hovering over a bowl of soup.
You didn't sit down.
Yes, I was going to sit. My next move would have been fun to sit down and open the book and tinker with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's roll for initiative.
Ooh, that's not good. Are you using a murder die?
I'm over here to bowl of soup.
I'm over digging around pantry. I got a natural 1 for 3.
Yeah, you're not paying attention.
I got a 17 plus 1.
Okay.
So who got 15 and 20?
Oh, I'm sorry. I got 22.
Number 1.
21.
You're 21?
Yeah.
Monster with the chairs is 3rd. What did
7.
I got a 3.
Okay, keep that up, man.
Hey, I got a natural 1 on the initiative, so that's better than, I guess.
Oh, you had that one, you didn't say anything?
Oh, I didn't want to interrupt. Yeah.
All right. So the order I have is Sparky, Alan, the chairs, Ionis, and Salt. The chairs have numbers on them too, so if you're going to either talk to them or attack them, just tell me which number you're going to do this with. So, with that said, Sparky, you hear what's going on in the other room.
Yeah, Sparky, in between bites, looks up, looks behind him, then looks at Human. Chair's cousins?
So you're going to interact with Cumin for your
Cumin,
your
yeah.
turn. What are you saying again?
Are the chairs cousins?
They sit in dining room unless you do something aggressive. That's what he says.
Sparky is like, be nice to chairs! It's too late for that!
All right, next up is Alan.
I'm so this one back here closest to Ken, is that within 10 feet of that one directly?
Each box, each square is 10 feet, and I also allow you to do diagrams.
Yeah, so he's kind of over between two, so
I would put him in the center of the box. I don't want to. Well, yeah, I don't want. I want each one of them to be on top of the chair. Basically, yeah. There you go.
Alright, so we'll see if it hits me. I'm gonna immediately cast Earth Tremor at the one directly in front of me.
What number is that?
I can't read it.
80.
Okay.
And that is a Dex save.
There we go. I have a 7.
That is a fail. 6. So he takes 6 damage and is knocked prone.
Lay it down sideways, please. 6 damage. Oh, that's a lot. Okay.
And then I'm going to slide into the corner there, closest to you, Ken. So that I'm standing out the other direction. This one, all the way to the corner. Right there, yeah. So I can get out of the doorway.
Okay. It is the creature's turn. The creature that is prone, half its movement, gets up. And it moves close towards Alan. Its tongue lashes out at you. Does a 13 hit?
It does not.
It misses you. You hear the snap of its tongue as it cracks back to the seat. Move that other one over there. Yep, closer towards it. What number is that?
72.
It leaps up and it goes to bite you with its teeth. Does a 11 hit you?
It does not.
It misses. It snaps down its maw. That one at the far end jumps on the table, leaps up, and gets in between those two, and it lashes its tongue at him. Does a 14 hit you?
It does not.
And it misses with its tongue. That one over here, that one, yep.
81?
Yep, it's going after you. Its tongue is lashing out like a whip at you. Does a 21 hit?
No, it doesn't. Barely hits. It's not it hits.
Oh, it's I rolled an 18. I got a plus 3. So let's see. It is 4 points of bludgeoning damage. That one comes closer towards him. Yep. What number is that?
78.
There you go. Its tongue lashes at you. Does a 17 hit?
Yep.
5 points of bludgeoning damage. The other one jumps on the table, slides over where the broken chair is, next to it. Yep. And it attacks with its mouth. It goes for a bite. Look at these rolls I'm getting. Does a 22 hit?
Flesh runs, yeah.
Yeah, flesh wounds. Here we go. 5 points of piercing damage as it bites down and snaps at your arm. And now, Ionis, it's your turn, sir. You got it.
We heard Sparky say be nice to the chair.
Yeah, no, you guys were just looking at the chairs.
Okay. So we didn't hear him yell it. Okay.
I'll tell you what, make a perception roll, and what's your perception?
My perception?
Yeah, passive perception. Oh my god, right here.
Well,
12 or higher.
That's a 15 on the die plus 3.
Okay, yes, you heard it say that. You understand.
Actually, I'm gonna put tuck the dagger in. I'm like, I'm not trying to cause any harm. Everything's fine. Be friendly.
Which are you talking to the group?
So,
You put the knife away, you said? Make a persuasion roll with disadvantage. Your number is going to be 10.
that's 4. And that's a nat 1.
Oh boy, next one! Alright, so no, it doesn't work. That was a good. You probably would have gotten somewhere with that, so. Anything else? Bonus action? You want to move and give me an opportunity attack with 3 guys?
Sure, why not? Yeah, you're right, I'm gonna disengage. So, I'm gonna get my seal.
Your action was going to be your trying to.
Well, cutting it. You can cut it.
Oh, that's your. Yes, your bonus action. Go for it. Go in the kitchen or jumping up on the table? Let's make a dexterity roll. Your DC is going to be 5 to jump up on the table. If not, you slip and fall.
That's which part of Dex? Aerobatics or athletics?
Whatever's best for you.
Okay. That's an 8 total.
You actually do it, so continue your movement.
Alright. And actually, I'll stop right here, turn around, and be like, try to. I would say to you, just try to be nice to them.
Make a perception roll, sir. What your passive perception bonus I have here is 13 DC if you hear them.
Perception. 12.
Okay, yeah, you sort of hear it in the dust of all these creatures going on. Salt, you're up. You're in the kitchen, you hear the commotion going on. You heard Sparky screaming, "Be nice to chairs!"
Feline ability to move. Close up. I'll be next to him. Thunderwave. So those three need to make a con save. Yeah, con save.
What numbers are those creatures?
81, 78, and 79.
Okay, this is going to be 81. What is a con save, you said?
Yeah.
Does a 5.
Nope.
78. Does a 16.
That one passes.
78 passes. It's a 79. It's 15.
That one passes too.
Okay.
I'm also use my channel divinity, so it'll max the damage. So the one that failed takes 16 thunder damage, and the 2 that pass will take 8. And they are the one that failed is push 10 feet, and there's a loud boom there's a loud boom that happens.
The whole room shudders and shakes. That chair is almost in splinters as it's on its last leg. It's super bloody, my man.
And
It's 16 points, right?
Yes.
On its last. It's on its last leg. So, anything else?
Bonus action, my animated shield will come out.
Oh, nice. It's like dancing around your body. Great. Top of the order, Sparky.
Sparky yells back, hearing the loud boom. Salty, soup give you gas?
Yeah.
Much. Do I feel concerned enough to leave my seat?
There's a very
It's
loud.
really good soup. And as you look over, Kuman is just watching you and smile. And he's making more, he says to you. Kuman actually doesn't seem concerned about what's going on in the other room. So he says he's making more food.
Ah, Fred's got it.
Okay, there he goes. Good role play, man. Hey, that's what these kobolds do. All right, Alan, you're up.
I'm going to use a bonus action to inspire Ionis.
Nice.
And
Don't forget to use that.
I look up and I see him trying to talk to me, and I can't understand what he's saying. So as a reaction, I'm just going to smash my hands together and cast Thunderclap.
Oh boy. Okay, you know what? Let's.
That's a 5-foot radius around me. So those 3.
All 3 of them. Yep.
Yeah.
What numbers do you see there?
Oh, sorry. 80, 77, and. What is that one? 76.
That's a con save. The magic number is 13.
There we go. This is number 80. Is plus 2, 10. Okay. 76. 8 plus 2, 10. And number 77. 9. All 3 fell. Shit.
And 5 damage.
Damn. Number 80 is very bloody. Okay. Anything else, Alan?
I can't move, so I'm going to.
Okay. The creature's turn. When your character walks in, all the attention of the chairs turn and they look towards this cat. They all go towards you. So the ones that are closest to you, you're going to get opportunity attacks on all of them. So let's start with move number 80 next to the cat. Take a shot at 80.
Oh, they really don't like you.
Felines and furniture never really get along. Yeah. Making biscuits. Make some biscuits.
What do you want to attack with?
I'm gonna attack with my right here. Try not to drop all this stuff. So you want me to just roll all 3 attacks at once?
Yeah, do it.
So that's cocked. 16.
That is a hit.
20.
Wait. Yeah, 20 dead.
Yeah, and then 10.
Alright, so we'll say 80 got hit. 76 got hit, 77 does not. Roll for damage for 80, please.
11.
80 gets destroyed with your steel rapier. Give me that character, take it off the board, please. Thank you. Next is 76.
5.
And you miss 76. Okay, so let's move the other 2 right next to him. 76 is going to lash its tongue at you. Salt does a 8 hit. No, misses. 77 goes to bite you with its teeth. Does a natural 1 hit. Now numbers
81.
okay, no 70 what?
This one's 81.
And the next one behind it.
78.
78 jumps up on the table and gets right in front of you. Yep. That other one moves between the 81 and right next to you. So we're gonna start with 81. Its tongue lashes at you violently with a 16. 78 lashes with its tongue with a 16. And 79 is like, screw that tongue, and leaps up to bite you with its maw. That's 20.
Oh no.
Okay, you're back. Instantly going to take 6 points of piercing damage.
Alright, I'm going to use my reaction, and he needs to make a dex save when you're done.
After the damage or before?
Yeah, after the damage.
Okay. Damage is going to be doubled. So 2, 4. So it's 8 points of piercing damage on top of the initial 6.
And then he needs a dex save.
Okay. Does a 9.
Nope, he's gonna take, let's see, he's gonna take lightning damage. He's gonna take,
The static cling of your hair, man.
8 lightning damage.
What number is that?
8.
No, what number is the chair?
Oh, which one hit me? 79, right?
79. Yep, 8 is very bloody. Wow. Yeah. Okay, that sucks. Alright, and that was all 3 of my attacks, right?
Yeah, that was all of them.
Okay. Yep. Now it's Ionis. The chairs are, you see they're all geared on to Salt for some crazy reason.
Yeah, don't like it. Taking out this short sword and attacking 77.
Okay, go for it.
Actually, since I'm staying where I am, I'm gonna do I'll do the steady aim. Can
No.
Or does
That's only for arrows.
Arrows? Oh, okay. Alright, then I'll just do this right. That's 11 plus.
That's a hit. There's a plus of a hit.
Okay.
77.
Oh, that's since you're by me, I'm gonna add the sneak attack to it. Nine damage.
77 is very bloody.
And since I hit that one, I am. Oh, that one's messed up. Alright, that ends my turn.
Alright. Salt. You have options.
The healing potion is kind of going to come in handy.
For me.
Yeah.
So it's gonna
I
look
got a couple, so.
So it's gonna look at him, he's like, sorry, my friend, and throw away.
You do what?
As he's gonna look at Ionis and be like, sorry, friend, and another wave of thunder comes out.
Thunder on everyone? Sorry,
So-
Ionis.
What's my.
You have, everybody needs to make a con save. You have to beat a 12.
I have 5 guys out there.
Con save?
You go first, Ionis.
10. I didn't make it.
Alright. This is 81. 81's going to fail with a 5.
Wait, what'd you think, guys?
Thunder wave.
I'm on a table with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
78. Then 15.
That one passes.
79 is going to roll 7.
No, fail.
77 is going to roll 5 on the 4.
Fail.
And 76, no Thunder Wave. Come on, big one. 17.
That one's a pass.
Alright, so roll for damage for all of us.
14 damage if you failed, 7 if you passed.
14 damage.
Yeah.
Wow. That shatters 80, those 3 chairs, 81, 79, and 77. Destroys them. Shards of wood and pieces of leather tongue fly about this room with a massive explosion.
Am I wrong?
Oh, you go back 10 feet.
Huh?
You go back 10 feet. You're not around, but you get pushed back 10 feet.
Damn.
Yeah, for some reason I thought you had to be on the ground
Off
for
the
it.
table.
You're off
Yeah,
the table.
I'm off the table.
It's a cute observation.
Yes. So we have 2 chairs. Anything else, Catman, who just got pissed off at everybody?
Is it a potion, action, or bonus action?
It's action.
Okay.
No, that will beat it.
Okay. Next up is Sparky.
Sparky gets something caught in his tooth, like a bone or maybe a small stone. Anyway, picks it out, looks at it, and then just casts magic stone.
Okay.
And then flicks it. Little lightning makes it go quicker. And can he hit?
Get closer for your movement. You got to get closer to the door.
I don't know if to roll.
Because right now, all you can see is I think that's Alan over there on the other side of the room.
Okay, so I have the bowl with me and I'm
that's
eating
Ionis.
it as I'm casually walking over. And then I get something stuck in my tooth and I do that thing.
Which number would you like? So right now, I'll let you try to hit both.
I guess the one on top of the table would probably be the easiest
Okay.
to just...
Is that what, 72?
78.
78? Go for it.
That's a 19 plus 5.
That's a hit.
And then that's a 6. That's 5. Plus 3. Oh, what? Can't do math. That's 8.
Wow, very bloody is that one. Is your chicken bone that was stuck in your tooth suddenly became a deadly weapon. Sparky, anything else?
That's my turn.
All right. Alan.
I look over at Solomon. That was awesome! When my thunder spell grows up, it'll be just like yours! And I inspire him.
Oh,
We pray every day, you might have to.
Oh, shit. So and then for my action, I'm going to turn to use the crossbow and try to... What's the number on the one kind of sort of cockeyed from the door?
76.
Okay, so... Ooh, 9.
that's a miss. All right.
I'm done.
All right. 78 obviously is battered really bad, and with a little bit of help is going to lash its long tongue at Salt. 18.
Miss.
Wow. That is a nice miss. And 76 lashes its tongue at Salt. 10. Misses with both. Ionis, you're up.
I'm gonna finally take out the other dagger that with the chain to it and attack the one that's on the table and like throwing it.
What number is that?
78.
Go for it. That one's really bad with damage.
Okay. That one.
That's one. Hold up now. It's a ranged attack, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Roll a 10-sided die. 1 to 5, you're going to hit Salt. It's going to be a hit. 6 to 10, it just sells by.
Okay.
Is that one?
7.
Oh, it sails by. Just misses you. Some friends you have there, Salt.
Yeah, I think I understand.
All right. I understand.
I'm bloody, so there's blood in my eye.
Salt, you're up.
Sorry about that, buddy.
Okay, go for it. 78.
That's gonna hit with a unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20, that is definitely a hit.
5 piercing.
Yeah, as soon as you touch that creature with your blade, the chair falls into pieces. Anything else, sir? That's all.
That'll be his turn now.
Okay. Sparky. Oh, wait. Soul? Yeah, Sparky.
Sparky sees this thing. He's like, "Hey, no, don't hurt Salty!" And he runs up and just punches him. And as he punches, it's a shocking grasp.
Sure.
That is a 5. That is an 11.
As 11, you barely miss, but you miss it. Yeah, you miss it.
Okay.
Get close, but you miss.
I missed.
12 is AC.
Got it.
All right. Anything else, Sparky? Bonus action.
Yeah, no, that's all I got.
Alan.
I'm gonna attempt to shoot over Sparky's head. It wasn't a short jump. So let's see, and that is a 18.
That is a hit. End this madness, Alan.
Right. Oh, that's gonna be a 4 for
And
damage.
you do not end it, but it is bloodied, so. Anything else, Alan?
Not
Okay. It is number 76's turn. It's going to attack Salt with its lashing tongue. Does a nat 1 hit? It misses. Rolling a 10-sided die. If you roll 6 to 10, its tongue shoots out its mouth and it falls to pieces. It falls to pieces and dies. It's over. And then the room falls quiet. You guys are all surrounded by broken chairs in this dining room.
I'm going to go over to the table and I'm just going to lie down and go, "That's
Drinks are on me, friend. Oh, blink.
done.
Mark that off your thing.
Yeah, no,
also, honor system, if there's magic spells you're using and you're
Yeah.
taking them off the slots, I'm going to trust you guys.
I will also drink a healing potion myself.
I'll let you roll." Did you?
In the mess of the rubble, you guys notice there appears to be a silver ring with a yellow gemstone on it. A closer look as you look down at it, the gemstone has a black slit and almost resembles a cat's eye. If you make an arcana check of a 12 or higher, I can tell you what this does.
19.
This is called the cat's eye. And is the wearer gets dark vision.
We'll take that.
That's about it. So right now, the chairs are destroyed. There's nothing else really of value in this room.
Cumin
Still in the kitchen.
Sparky finishes his last. He's like, "You okay?"
No, I'm not.
He's doing better.
Okay. Cumin! Sorry about furniture. More food?
Come in, kitchen, he says. So
I walk back in there.
Yeah. So the three of you are in this dining room area. And what would you like to do next? Now, outside, the fairies don't even take notice. It's a sort of a thick glass. There's some type of space atmosphere on the other side of the wall, the curved wall in the distance. And there's a door to your right.
I'll walk in by
You going in the kitchen? Alan,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
I'm gonna walk, and we can see. Can I see through the wall?
Yes.
Is that right?
No, that whole there's a whole glass wall at the far end. It's on the other side, between the arboretum and the dining room. It's a huge glass wall.
I'm gonna walk to the wall and kind of see if there's anything in there shiny that catches my eye.
Okay. Put your character against the glass. Make the investigation or perception, whichever is better.
Didn't look at this. 14.
Nothing shiny at this moment, but you do notice several of the fairies notice you. And the next thing you know, they all notice you and they all turn. And they seem happy and they're gesturing for you to come out. They see them doing this to you, and they're pointing to their left, which would be to your right.
I kind of give them the parade wave.
And they all spin around and they wave, and you see the fairy dust dissipating behind them, and they seem excited. There's at least just over 24 of these fairies. They're about maybe 12 inches in height. They're translucent, so it's kind of hard to tell if they're male or female, but you see their fluttering wings and their little silver translucent bodies.
I kind of walk. Salt, are you still in the room? Yeah. I kind of walk over to Salt and I say, I'm curious to go in there, but I don't want to go in alone.
Don't poke the fairies.
Well, curiosity hasn't killed the cat yet. Let's go.
So there's no door in there, but you might find one in the hall.
So we go out in the hall.
Okay, so you guys go out there. That door is slightly ajar. Ionis, you're in the kitchen now with Sparky and Cumin flying around the kitchen.
I might ask Kuman in for another bowl.
Cumin immediately spins around and grabs a bowl and places it out in front of you and hands you a steaming piece of bread.
And I'm gonna ask him, do you have any flour? I know it's a weird. It's a weird request.
Cumin has flour.
Mind if I get it like just a little bit?
Yes, so Cumin goes and brings you a small thing of flour.
Thank you. And I walk out the door. Sparky, you're coming?
Cumin come?
No. Cumin will make the dessert for Sparky.
Sparky be back for dessert.
Okay.
Takes a full bowl with him now. He's getting fat.
Alright, so let's go everybody down the hall. Okay, so you guys are all at the hallway. Are you going to meet at the door down there? Let's put everybody down there. Door is slightly ajar.
Are you gonna poke the fairies?
Poking no. Perhaps look around, yes.
Alright,
I'm
so
gonna need more healing for this.
who's at the door? You?
I'm at the door.
Okay, first thing you do is you peer outside from where you're at. You see that the entire manor is surrounded by a swirling celestial bodies of space and time. This mysterious house is completely surrounded by this purple miasmic energy. It's like a rolling vortex. It's like soup almost. There is no ground from what you can see. You look up, there's no sky, and as far as you can see, there is no horizon. This strange house appears to be completely surrounded, at least from where you're at. But to your left is the arboretum.
We appear to be nowhere. Before I walk in the room, I'm going to take the gold book out again. I'm a little less distracted now. I'm going to open it, and I'm going to say scepter.
At that moment, nothing happens.
I was afraid of that.
Forgot to try scepter backwards.
I did that earlier.
Demonic voices fill the
So-
halls.
From where you're at, you look out, you see that. To see more, you have to go outside pull the door up and step out into the arboretum.
I'll do that. I'll take one step into the arboretum.
Okay, let's put your character out there, please.
Nice knowing you.
Now, at the end of this arboretum, you see lots of flowers and shrubs, and sort of what you saw on the other side of the glass. You also notice high above, about 15 feet up, are two glowing orbs like suns that are providing light. There is some light coming from this purple miasmic energy around, but these orbs are obviously giving light and nourishment to these plants. There are colorful blossoms everywhere, and there's a smell of perfume that fills this entire arboretum area. There's a light breeze as your hair and some of your clothing starts to flutter. But you also notice multiple fairies flying about. And they're flying up and down. A few of them stop and stare at you. And again, because of their glowing translucentness, you really can't tell male or female. And the fairies are busy in chatter. You see multiple fairies also pointing in directions, sort of whispering to each other. Makes you a little uneasy to see this. And there are several of them also start giggling. Make an insight check. 14 is your number. Can't help you with this. I'll tell you what. Make a intelligence arcana check. 12 is your DC. That's 20! Those orbs are drift globes that are providing light to these plants. Now, the rest of you see your partner out there staring off into the distance at the arboretum. You hear the sound of these cackling little creatures. So, what would you guys have to do?
Are any of the flowers purple?
There's all different colors, yes.
I find the purple one.
Okay. Make a... Let's do perception roll. This is 10.
3.
Yeah, there's so many colors right now, you're not able to gauge. What would you like?
Just stroll through the garden, eating my soup, mesmerized by
You
all
start
the
walking
different
out to the
colors.
garden, a fairy swoops down, sort of hovers in front of you, looks at you, says something, and then goes back away. Okay, leaves. You do notice, you see there's 4 sets of arboretums, 4 sets of plants? Yes. The 3rd set of plants, the fairies start swarming around it, and they look at you and they gesture towards the plants. The plants open up, and you see a green blade coming up, a short sword. Vines are wrapped around it. It gets quiet as the fairies all look at you and they gesture and start doing this to you. Now you guys here get really quiet. You see your kobold Sparky take a few steps forward. He's looking out. You see this. Okay, move your character out there. So are you going to talk and interact with them? Or?
The fairies? Could I understand them, what they said?
No. Do you have Fae or Fairy?
No.
Yeah. So one of the fairies sort of lands next to you, sort of, and points over to this beautiful short sword. It's emerald green, and all the other fairies are quiet. You make insight checks. DC is 14.
24.
The rest of the party can't pick up on it, but you can tell these fairies are up to something extremely mischievous as you see your kobold buddy Sparky walking out. You even catch some of them smiling with these sadistic looks on their faces. Their black eyes are getting half covered with their brows coming down with an angry look.
Sparky, what are you doing?
Sparky, gotta get first Sparky. Sparky, not turn down, give.
Sparky, no.
One of the fairies flies over to you with its finger and it does this. And it spins around and flies back up.
Whatever, Sparky. What is it?
Is it a sword?
Do I see a
You
sword?
see it, yeah, it's such a beautiful short sword. You guys will see this. It's almost magical.
I look over and I say, in Sylvan, don't take any gifts from the fairies.
Maybe to see how they react. He does have it.
You don't understand Sylvan, right?
No.
I want to see how they react before I say anything.
When that said, the fairies start spinning around. They seem agitated and angry as you say this speech. And they're all flying all over the place. They start gesturing towards you, but the sword is still there. There are fairies around everywhere, and there are more fairies than the last time you've seen. So the 24 is about just over 3 dozen now fairies flying all over the place, and they seem very agitated towards you speaking.
And I call out then again in common, I can pick it up.
Oh, he's right.
I was about to say, you have the magic hand.
When you say that, the fairies get quiet, and you see one of them nod its head. And they all seem to have these smiles on their face. You feel very uncomfortable. You're picking up a vibe that you just don't feel this is right.
I don't trust that. So
Should we back up into the other room just in case of, something happens and I get,
An agitated fairy hears that and flies over to you and starts and flies back over towards the blaze.
ask them what their price is.
Eyes get huge, and again you see the scar just start to throb, purple. And he goes, the price is never the price with fairies. But I'll ask. And so I ask in Sylvan, what would you like in trade for the sword?
Make a charisma roll, please.
Natural 1!
Nat 1!
Charisma, I think, yes.
The fairy's just disgusted with you. You can tell these nasty creatures don't want nothing to do with you. You guys all picked up on that sort of, but you feel very uncomfortable. Like there's something really wrong going on here. But you're staying there. What would you like to do? Oh,
I look over at you, I'm like, since they don't like you very much, maybe you could do something to grab the sword.
Well, thanks for that. And I conjure mage hand again, assuming it's been longer than a minute yet.
And I'm walking closer towards the door.
And I kind of say, everyone more towards the door.
Sparky not get the sword?
Probably not. Probably not.
The fairies start getting quiet, and they're like very inquisitive, watching what all of you are doing, as they think you're up to something.
I go back to my place and walk where I'm told to walk.
And so I extend the mage hand, and just as I go to grasp the hilt of the sword, I look up again and say again in Sylvan, what would you like for this? Before I touch it.
The fairies get riled up. They dance around the mage hand. Your hand is about to touch the blade, and they don't say anything to you. They look at you. They're disgusted by you. They don't like your tongue. They don't like the fact that you're communicating with them. You pick up on that. But your hand is about to grab that sword. Is that something you'd like to command your hand to do?
Absolutely, I pick it up.
Okay. The hand clenches the blade. Vines shoot up with fairy dust all around them. Surround that mage hand and pulls your mage hand into the shrubbery. Your mage hand is gone. You can no longer use your mage hand while you're in this castle, this mansion. At that moment, that same bushel area opens up. A spear, a golden spear, rises upward with an emerald green head of its blade. And the fairies are dancing around it. It gets quiet once again, and they start gesturing towards the spear.
Looking around, is there anything else?
Just plants, that's all you see. You know what? No, make a perception roll, please. Magic number is 12. That one.
You don't want to.
Oh, I love it. Net one.
Yeah, you can't really tell anything else other than there's a beautiful spear, a golden spear with a silver blade.
The sword's gone?
Are you thinking about doing something stupid?
Yeah, it's very stupid.
Yes, I'm with you. I think, depending on the level of stupidity, of course.
Well, since we're trapped here, coming in, told us not
Before you guys even get to the
go
levels.
out here in the first place.
Nothing.
So,
The soup has wisdom.
Sweet speaking to you. Sparky's like, I'm intelligent or something.
oh, well, I still have a bowl of soup. Wait a minute. This but a spear, and then bowl of soup, which is really good. You guys might actually like it.
And they laugh at you. It's quiet, they're all watching. There's this one that's hovering closer to you guys, out of arm's reach. Doesn't care for the little soup. Salt, the fairies are continuously trying to point and get your party's attention. You feel very uncomfortable, especially you seeing the plants swallow up this mage hand that's helping you guys out of the past.
Commented about the mage hand not being able to bring it back.
I am concerned, but quiet.
I apologize.
That smell is tempting, and the wizard did say that there would be weapons in here to help us. So I'm going to ask for a third time.
Okay, you can do this with disadvantage, okay? The magic number is going to be 14.
Oh, so that's going to be 17 and 19. So
Okay.
17.
The fairies seem to finally look at you, angered still. What are you going to tell the fairies?
What would you like for the spear?
They converge. You hear them chattering and talking with each other. Then they fall silent. One fairy sort of hovers close to you and starts to speak. The rest of you hear just chirps coming from the fairy, but you hear the soul of two of your party members. And the fairy goes back. starts giggling and turns back, but you can tell it's very serious.
And I look over and I say, we should go.
What do they want?
Yours, sir.
Bullets. I'm out.
Yours is the...
I walk out.
Okay, you going out? Okay. Put him out in the hall, please. Sparky, what would you like to do?
Checking on dessert.
Okay. We'll spark you up. And of course, Salt.
My soul is already claimed. They cannot have it.
Okay. And you're by yourself out there with the fairies, and they slowly hover, getting closer to you. Not to surround you, but they're all flying, hovering. They're close enough where your hair starts moving from their wings flapping. One of them says to you, "Stay and play."
Do you really think I would trade my friends for your shiny stick?
The fairies, obviously agitated, spin around away from you, and they hover and they go back to the plants about their business, angry that their plan is not working.
A long my arm reaches in, starts pulling you in. I turn and walk out.
And the door closes, and you're safely inside. Okay, so you guys are going to keep playing. All right. So, we have another corridor. We have several rooms in this corridor. There's also an upper level. What would you guys like to do? And of course, we got those two main doors.
I'm gonna take another healing potion.
All right. So
Sparky runs down to the door, peeks in. Dessert ready?
Kuman, when you say that, it already has a tray of cookies stacked up high. Kuman, make cookies! And he hovers towards you with all these cookies.
I take a tray and just holding one tray in one hand. He's like, okay, investigate rest of the manor. Let's go. Go.
All right, so
As
you
I
have the
offer
cookies.
a cookie, I took a tray of cookies. And I'm now,
All right. You have your tray of cookies. The rest of you are coming down this corridor. There's a stairwell going upstairs, but you also have a set of 3 doors to your right and another door at this far.
Well, as good as my luck is holding, I think we should explore downstairs first.
Those go upstairs, those stairs.
No, the rest of
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Down the hall?
being sarcastic.
Okay.
there is a downstairs. That's where the red door is.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Let's explore this floor this door.
With caution, I am tired of being beaten up.
Sorry.
Apologies.
Okay.
So I'm gonna walk down to this doorway.
Okay. Everybody stay together, I guess? Yeah. Yes, everybody else then.
Sparky's really very at home.
Just before we do anything to this door, I'm gonna check it for a trap because I am very, very paranoid right now.
No, the trap was outside.
Make a perception roll, please.
It's a 16.
The door is ajar, and you find no traps where you're standing at that doorway.
There's appear to be no traps so far. As I push the door slowly.
Slide over to your right. Next one.
Alright, I'll walk in.
Now, the first thing you notice, it's like a small study, right? The far wall is a floor-to-ceiling bookshelf with all sorts of diverse books. There's even more books resting on a large scarlet armchair that you see in some small wooden tables in this small study. You also see there's 3 unique paintings on the wall, and a fluffy black cat curled up on one of the scarlet chairs.
I pull the hood up and turn black like the cat.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Looking like a demonic black cat hybrid. So that's what we have in this room, guys. So you get lots of books, black cat sitting on a very hairy, fluffy black cat. We've got 3 paintings in this room.
After playing with the cat, what did the painting?
Do you go on to play with the cat?
After like making my skin the same color as the cat, I'll look at the paintings.
Okay. There are 3 paintings. One is a landscape of a large green dragon. It appears to be pulling from chains, like breaking free. You glance over at his second painting. It is a Pegasus that appears to be flying away from a cage. The third painting is sort of out of place. It's a very long horizontal painting. It's covered with a lot of dust, and it appears to be the keyboards to a piano or an organ. Very dusty.
Sparky, seeing the painting of the dragon, would immediately trail over to it. A bunch of cookie crumbs along the way as he chomps one down. He's like, Sparky's gonna be a dragon one day. That's Sparky. And he just looks over the painting.
It's a beautiful painting of a green dragon that broke its chains and is flying free.
Maybe. Sparky don't know.
Hopefully not green. I'm gonna walk over to the bookshelf and go, if anything kills me from this damn bookshelf, I'm gonna be very angry at him. And I'm going to carefully just look at any of the books and make sure there's no traps around this area of the books. For the first area so far. And then I'm gonna keep moving over. See if I see anything.
Okay. Make an investigation also.
Investigation.
Which one was the green dragon?
That's the one over there is the organ piano keys. This is the green dragon. That would be the unicorn or the Pegasus.
That's 19.
Oh, nice. Your eyes are glancing over all these different books. Obviously, Fastandia was a very renowned priest of mystery, a goddess of magic, as you know what mystery is. A lot of the books you see are stuff that discusses interplanetary movement, alternate realities, dimensional doorways. Sort of what you saw in her collection in Candlekeep. There's a small journal that only has one page written on it. You pull that out, take a peek. The journal sort of talks about, let's make sure I say this right, she's talking about a love of hers, a dashing pirate whom she granted the gift of immortality, and that she'll soon be with him again.
Well, Kum did stories check out about about her pirate lover.
Didn't we meet a pirate?
Huh?
Didn't we meet a pirate?
Oh, yeah, the elf. Was he a pirate?
He had a pirate hat.
Yes, he did. I wonder if...
Which chair is the cat in?
That one over there.
This one?
Yep. In fact, it's over there. That's not a chair.
I'll pet the cat and kind of look around.
Okay, as you pet the cat pops his butt up in the air and starts to purr, gets up from the chair, leaps down, and starts going by your feet. But in doing so, the cat was lying on top of a large gold book that resembles the book you saw in the Candlekeep library. Now, instead of the spine saying the words, the Joy of Extradimensional Spaces, there is a single letter, the letter I. So the book resembles that, by the way, which you guys see there. All right. Alan.
I'm going to call over to Ionis and say, do you see any books on Primordial?
Let me take a look. Go down each.
And with that roll, there are no books in this library of Primordial. The journal that you had, there was actually a passage on the back, and it talks about her concern about visitors being trapped in this manner. So she hid the command word, single letters, on the spines of golden books. 7 golden books to be exact. Throughout this mansion.
I'll let everyone know.
Hi. Nice.
Wait, didn't we have other books that we got or something? Or
Mine is golden and it just says
The Joy of Extradimensional Spaces.
hi. So
Good.
if he doesn't find that, I'm going to walk over to the painting of the keyboard and kind of study it a little bit.
Seems pretty dusty. It's not as clean as the other 2 paintings.
I reach out and touch the keys.
You with your hand?
Yes.
Oh, let's use your mage hand. Oh, we can't.
I knew it was coming.
You do. At that moment, you hear the sound of an organ billowing within this room. The books you were looking at, the shelves, suddenly start to move and slide to the side. And you see a stairwell going to a lower level of the mansion.
You mean? Okay.
There's one we're allowed for this stream.
Sake of time, there's nothing else of value in this room. So you can go downstairs, you can go upstairs, or you can check these other rooms.
Before we go downstairs, we should check everything else first.
Yeah, I agree.
The red door's down there. Let's be careful.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah,
I walk out into the hallway toward the other door.
I pet the cat goodbye.
I'm gonna do something stupid.
Who else is? Okay, what are you gonna do?
The other paintings, I'm gonna just look to see if there's any behind, like kind of just. To the
Okay, you
side.
look and there's none.
Okay.
Okay, there's a dust void because the area where the organ is pretty messy. But other than that, you see nothing. The black cat actually follows you out into the hall, so put the black cat next to you.
I love it.
I'll come back.
And next session, we're gonna have a gray cat.
Okay, Alan, you're at this door.
Yes.
Make a perception roll, please.
That's not gonna be any good. 5.
Yeah, you know that the door is closed. You don't see anything that seems out of place other than a closed door. There was a bit of light coming from the bottom of the door, but right now with that light, it's just
So I'd like to try a look at the door.
Yeah.
I step back.
I'm gonna move up, but just before I do that, I go, here, kitty, I'm gonna get on my show.
the cat is. Make an animal handling check, and that's a high roll for you because the cat's with him. So it'll be 18, 18 or higher.
18 or higher. Animal handling?
Yep.
This is gonna suck. That one. It rolled
Oh,
back.
I love this. Oh, this is good. A lot of this. This is. You're gonna see, young lady, the whole group dying later on.
I'll remember all these ones.
Yes, it's gonna be good. The cat seems
Get him out
enthralled with salt, and it's just following him around.
Alright, so be it. Alright, we go
Birds
to
of a feather, as they say.
That is, yeah, true. Alright, so let's take a look here, and I'm going to see if there's any traps. That is a 11 plus, is it perception? So that's a 14.
There are no traps, but you feel vibration on the door as if there's some type of rhythm, maybe music on the other side. You do notice faint scorch marks on the bottom of the door.
I tap on the door and play Tainted Love.
Okay, but it definitely is some type of rhythmic vibration. You can't really hear anything, but there's some type of either music or machinery or something on the other side.
I let you guys know there's some vibration or something, and I point to the floor.
I'll look underneath the floor, like try to peer through.
It's very impossible. There's bright light coming out. You do, at that point, you do see the ground is scorched as if there was burn marks in the room coming out.
I pull out my Balrog, my skin drum, and I just start playing a light rhythm on it, and kick open the door.
That's what we're gonna do. Okay, let's do this then.
Sparky's just back eating a cookie, watching.
You never know. Thank you. This should be fun.
Yeah. Famous last words. Okay.
That's just scorch marks.
You kick open this door, and upon entering this room, you're immediately met with very strange, unworldly music like you've never heard before. The music seems to be coming from a strange brown box at the far side of the room in the corner. Hovering above this brown box, you see what appears to be a hollowed brass horn sitting on top, and that's where this strange music is coming from. But you also see in the, there was also something that catches your attention right away. Let me put this in the slide. You see, okay. The area contains a battered wooden mannequin, a weapons rack, to the left with daggers and quarterstaffs. One of these staffs are a different color. It's black with an amber crystal at the top. The mannequin appears very beat up, wearing cheap armor. But you also see multiple large brooms magically flying around, sweeping up this room, dancing about to the strange, unworldly music. But at the moment you step in a little bit, the brooms stop and they turn in your direction. The music no longer is playful. It sounds like a staticky, skipping pattern. The brooms hover and face the direction of the doorway. This lasts about a good 10 seconds or so. And then the brooms slowly turn back, start sweeping again, and the music starts to play. The floor is scorched. Behind the statue is a huge poster of attack and defensive positions, sort of for training. You're gathering that this room is primarily used by Castandia to practice your spells and fighting with weapons. There is a large window at the far end where you see the miasmic board outside, and it spills in the purple light into this room. So you've got weapons over here, a bunch of daggers, 4 quarterstaffs. One of them has a black staff, amber crystal. You got a beat up mannequin over there, and at the far end is a diagram of just attack and parry positions for training. And the brooms are content, and they're large, hefty brooms, but they're magically sweeping about the place now. Probably no threat to them.
Do you think I would turn off the music that brings about?
We have to go in there.
Yeah. Song will go in. He's like, what do you think?
I'll go there.
I think that it's possible if we turn off the music, the brooms will attack us.
Yeah, the square thing is on the floor is over here. Now, for meta's sake, out of the game, it's like an old phonograph. So he walked across.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Sparky, as he enters the room, he has that tray, and he's kind of feeling the music. He starts tapping his foot and like kind of jolting back and forth.
Do you think we should dance with one of these brooms?
One of the brooms goes close to you and starts sweeping crumbs, getting really close to you. And you guys all see this, as this broom is not attacking you. It's a very large broom. It's a very good, solid oak, but it's sweeping. It's following you around, sweep like a Roomba.
Sparky offers a cookie.
It doesn't. It just keeps sweeping the crumbs. When there's no more crumbs, it goes back and sweeping other parts of the room.
So, options. I like the look of that staff over there.
Just before you do that, what happens if I touch the broom? And like put my hands like right here, like next to it, just like
So what are you trying to touch?
the broom.
You reach up to touch the broom. They stop sweeping. The music stops playing as you approach it.
Oops.
The brooms stop and they all turn in your direction. And the one that you're about to touch sits, and you almost see a red pulsating glow emitting from its staff.
All right, don't touch anything. No broom. Don't touch anything on the walls. They're just hateful.
The music starts to play again as you stand down looking at this phonograph. The brooms are all dancing about.
Options. If we break that abomination on the far side of the room,
And they're pointing to salt.
I believe that these things are going to be hostile. We could do that. However, I'd like to see if we could get the weapons.
Snatch and run.
Absolutely.
Wait, Sparky has a... We're worried about brooms, why not? They want to clean. So he starts crumbling cookies, leading it out of the door.
So while he's doing that, leading them out of the door?
Leading them out of the hallway.
Can we
I'm gonna
put
step
them
out of the
into
way.
this room, to the room back?
Oh yeah, I got him.
Like the pipe fiber.
So put your character in the hall.
Okay.
This broom starts cleaning and sweeping, but then stops at that point right there, and then goes back and starts cleaning the room. As Sparky goes out. So what would you like to do? Now you're standing over this weird-looking contraption. You know the music's coming from where this sound. There's a large window to your right. You see outside the miasmic energy swirling around, and the brooms are just sweeping.
Do they react if I reach towards it?
No. But they're moving, and it seems like they're having a good time sweeping to the music.
He's gonna think about it for a second, walk. He's gonna pace a little bit, look at the armor.
Okay. As you're approaching the armor, some of the brooms swish by you very non-violently. They're about their business cleaning. The armor is beat up. It's unusable, and you can tell this armor is primarily used for some type of practice with either spells or weapons. It's dented up armor. The shield has dents and scorch marks on it. There are scorch marks all around the ground as well, possibly from very powerful spells from Vistani, the sorceress.
Don't touch the armor without consent.
She said it's not used before.
Now, these are really big broom salt. You're a big cat, and they're almost the size of you.
Look, he walks back over to the music box.
I'm gonna walk, playing my drum, playing the rhythm that I hear.
Yep.
I'm gonna walk over and stand in front of the rack of weapons.
Okay.
Kind of
Do you want me to come with you?
like. Watch my back.
Both your characters in front of the rack right there.
You want to be behind me or?
On the side. Yeah, just.
All right. So with you there, I'm going to continue playing the drum and like reach toward the black staff.
Okay, so your hand is going up towards it. Are you actually going to physically touch it? That's to be closer.
Keep playing, and I should probably be the foolish one.
I'll keep playing then. I want the staff really bad, but I'll keep playing.
Just before you do that, though, I am going to check word trap. Just
Make a perception.
nat 20.
Oh shit! Nat 20.
Yeah.
With that super high roll, my friend, you can tell there's no traps, but all the other daggers and staffs, except the big black one, emerald, appear almost translucent. There's a faint, but you can sort of see, almost like an illusion. But the black one with the emerald on top is not.
So all of them except for the black.
Yeah, the one that he's sort of eyeing right now. You're in the hall, and you see the brooms did not come back out. There is a black cat sitting at the ground eating some of the crumbs. The black cat did not follow Salt inside this room.
Sparky leans down to the cat, offers it a cookie, and petting it. It's like, you didn't want to go inside? Nope.
And the cat does not respond to you because there's a loud slamming door sound you hear at this room. It sort of spins your head around. Empty corridor. And you know definitely heard this door slam shut. Maybe something was looking or someone was looking out the wall.
Kobold. Come on, let's go see what that was.
So, all right, so put your character right there. Nice.
Okay, right here.
Okay, that's fine. The cat does not follow. You don't do animal handling, 18 or higher.
I got a 19 on die.
Whoa! Move the cat down the corridor as it's curious.
To here?
Yeah. This is the cat. This room is the curiosity.
That's the best I can do.
Oh no!
I'll just say that to you guys.
He just said this is a cat, here's the curiosity.
The room is the curiosity. Okay.
Sensing a trend.
Yes.
Salt. You're in this room. You're staring at this device that's playing. The brooms are going left sweeping. What are you going to do? Oh, you know what? Since you're standing there, make a perception roll, please.
19.
There is a brass placard on the side of the square brown box, and it reads, "Property of Hotel Lovecraft, 1920.
Oh, wow. That's what you did.
That is definitely extra planning. Oh, wow.
Yeah, you guys are gonna see some crazy stuff in this place. So,
Hey guys, I found the hotel's name.
It's down in the basement.
California.
all right. You guys, you two.
I want to have it.
Okay, snatch and grab. Maybe I'd snatch it and run out, but Salt, I guess get ready to run. That's true.
The dialogue, unlike the fairies, these brooms aren't reacting to the dialogue.
So you want to grab it, then I run.
How about I flip the music up first, and then grab it and run? See what happens. 2 birds with 1 stone.
Let's do it at the same time.
Yeah.
All right,
Ready?
2, go.
still playing music?
Yeah. As I'm running through the door, running for the door.
There, so.
Yeah, I haven't stopped playing
I'm
this.
sleight of hand, so that's
The room falls quiet. You reach up. It's almost like slow motion. You see this. You don't, because your eyes are fixated on him. As he's slowly reaching for this weapon, the brooms begin to glow red. And at that moment, the brooms quickly go to converge on you guys. Roll for initiative.
Did I do the sleight of hand for 21?
What?
I was doing the sleight of hand.
I know, but it's magic.
Okay.
Oh my god. Okay, 15 20.
I got a 22 with an
20.
16 for me.
Salt, and the second is Ionis, right? Oh, it's Alan.
So did you physics grab it?
I tried to.
I rolled it once. I got 9.
21.
So you're second to last. We have Salt, Alan, Ionis, and Sparky. Let's fight. Or run. Who has the staff in there?
I did.
Okay. Salt. Dash up.
disengage, feel liability, stand here. But it's actually enemy shield ready to help them out.
Okay. Alright, now you can't send your shield to help somebody else out.
No. It's my shield's around me. I'm standing here.
Got it.
Yeah.
Alan.
I haul out. Turn and run out the door.
Ionis.
I'm swipe out this one with the dagger. That's 18 plus 5.
That's a hit.
One of those people that can't go next door without touching something. You can sneak attack.
Yep. I'm gonna breathe
It's a shiny magic staff.
Yeah.
Nice. That is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Ooh.
And
What weapon you hitting it with?
with the dagger.
And it breaks in half and falls. You destroy it. 14 points of damage.
And I tell it out of here with the door and go, come on.
Next up is Sparky. You're in the hallway. You see your guys all running out. You hear a commotion. You sort of look down. Where are you running?
What's going on?
Bullshit. I'm sorry. We're in a fight.
It's very bleak out there. Someone's in here.
Okay.
I ready in action in case I see a broom come out. I will throw a stone, magic stone.
Perfect. Now it's the broom's turns. Number 4 comes over to Salt. It swings for your massive cat head. Misses. Number five swings its massive. It's your head 14. You're lucky with that.
I just have my hands.
This next one swings at your head with a 3. Last one is not going to miss. This is number 1, the leader of the pack.
He's like, let me know.
7. And it misses. And it is now Salt, your turn.
You're only about 14.
Yeah, and you still got 2 other levels too.
So I'm just gonna disengage and get on the other side of the door.
Okay, you just go outside the door, and there's one large door standing between all of you guys and these massive rooms. Alan, you're
Close the door. Close the door. Close the door. Close it.
Shut the door.
You do. The door closes and it falls quiet. You hear no other activity on the other side of the doorway.
And I look at you and say, "May I see that, please?"
Oh, sure. Here.
And so I take the staff.
And make a Arcana check with advantage. You're a magic guy?
Yeah.
And DC is 10.
Oh my gosh.
With advantage.
Yeah, I know. That's ridiculous. 8 and 5. So 8.
Okay, it's at that point, basically you can't figure out how to use this staff, what's this for, but it's obviously some type of magic staff. Maybe a powerful one.
Hang it around my back.
Okay.
Do you want me to pray about it?
Just put broom staff, if you want to say it. It's a black oak. It's a quarterstaff, and it is an ember gem on top of crystal, crudely cut, almost like Jurassic Park with the mosquito inside. Sort of translucent. All right. Now, you guys see him looking. He can't figure it out. The rest of you in the hall. What would you guys like to do?
Okay.
I remind. Like I said, someone's in here.
Yeah. I got it.
Also, looking at the staff. Does anything?
Make a Arcana check.
Let me guide your way. You get guidance.
Oh,
Right, D4.
I had guidance.
I've always been guidance.
So 14.
Congratulations.
Oh, good. Thank you.
You barely paid attention at school cold ball, but once in a while things catch your attention, like the color of bubble gum, and that's why this staff stands out, because the crystal looks like a ball of bubble gum. This is known as the Staff of Tremors. Okay? The user, let's see, Staff of Tremors. You can only use it once a day. The user slams the staff onto the ground, almost like Gandalf. You shall not pass. Tremors all around. Any adjacent player or creature around the wielder, they have to make a DC save of dexterity of 10, plus the modifier of the caster. On a fail, all those creatures and whoever's around, they all fall and go prone and suffer disadvantage on any attacks on the next turn, even if they get up.
I rattle that off to you in a very quick and hard to understand.
How close do they have to be?
Right next to you. So, Jason, yep. The only down part is you put yourself in the middle of a whole bunch of enemies if you do that.
Yeah. Which has been a trend for me so far.
Yep. Okay, so yeah, so it's a good staff. It's called the Staff of Tremors. Okay.
Thank you.
I just look over at you. I'm like, okay.
Okay, you knock at the door. There's no answer. The door is closed.
I'll check.
You check if it's traps. Please make a perception roll.
Player side wants to do this, but I don't know.
That's a 13.
There are no traps on this door.
You want to kick down the door again?
No.
Okay. Want to kick down the door? Actually, don't kick down the door. I'll just
Push.
just easy. Push it.
Slide it open.
Yes.
I was a bit overcome by the music, so
I miss that. It's fun. I appreciate everything you do.
This is a large library. There are shelves filled with books throughout this entire room. You also see two large shelves in the middle, running adjacent to this room, about a 15-foot space between them all. Diverse stacks of books are piled high throughout this room. Some books are small as a notepad. Some books are massive as a gate. There's also several reading desks in this library. There's a cozy scarlet chair also set up in each corner of this room. There's a smell of paper and cats, very strong, inside this room. Right now at this junction, you don't see anything else from the doorway, so who kicked open the door quietly? Make a perception roll for your round.
So 16 on the die plus 3, 19.
Out of all the books, at the far end, one book catches your attention, and it's gold, and it sits in the middle shelf over here.
I think we found another golden book. Also, what was the book that you were looking for?
Primordial. Anything that will teach me how to read Primordial.
There's a lot of books in there. A lot. Like, you'd be in heaven of books.
Believe me, I'm going in.
Okay. Just because I believe this room is trapped.
Salt, what would you like to do?
Salt's gonna look for the person.
Okay, the person?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, for the person, the perceived person that he said he heard.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
You don't see any persons in this room, but as you look around, a massive book starts to come around the corner and float and stands by this door. And then another comes this way. And more start to fill up this room. This one comes down over the fence, over the wall, shelf rather, and a final book lands directly in front of the golden book. So that's what you see. You see all this going on. And you two whoever opened the door.
Slide into where it's front.
yeah. I'll walk in with my tray.
So gameplay.
The cookie's about halfway done.
Oh no.
So gameplay here.
And
I try to see what is on the book's pages, like
okay.
they're
As you look, there's lots of letters, and you can't tell the language because they keep moving and dancing around. It's almost like a Rorschach from Watchmen. How the faces.
Oh yeah.
So that's what you see. The letters are constantly moving around. These books are really large, like they're very heavy, but they're magically floating in the air. Occasionally, a page will turn and they're open, almost like wings. They open like that, almost watching you.
Yeah, for a cookie.
Nothing happens. You hold it up at this massive book and just nothing happens. Do you want to move in or are you going to stay there?
Yeah, I'll move in a little bit. I'm just gonna mosey on it.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone.
I'm coming behind you.
Coming too.
Because I think this place is trapped.
All right. Ionis, move your guy into the room then. Alan?
I'm gonna walk right up to this one.
And Salt, as before you make your decision, the black cat you feel biting onto the paneling, sort of looking, biting you, looking up, trying to pull you away from the room.
Guys, I don't know if that's the best idea. I know we need the book, but I don't think we should all be in there.
Upon saying that, the cat purrs and it runs that way and goes up the stairs.
The floors are wooden.
Yes.
Put a pin, hold the door, like take a pin, knock it down.
My idea is you three hold the door, me run in really fast and run back out.
Why don't we?
Because I can move 120 feet
That's right.
in 6 seconds.
I can do 90.
Well, why don't we just move unseen? Go take book without the books noticing.
There's also that.
Okay.
Alan, any decisions?
That sounds good to me.
Which one?
They move unseen.
I can move unseen, but not unheard.
Fortunately for you, they have a passive perception, so let's do this. There's other options you guys can think of.
While you're doing that, I'll cast minor illusion of an actual book
Okay.
onto the ground next to where the actual book would be.
Okay. Over here.
Yeah.
All right. And what type of book?
And let you guys know it's just like a gold-looking book to make it look like it's part of it. And just with the number 1 because I don't know what book that may be. So.
Sparky says Sparky will distract, and he starts juggling cookies.
Did we get a
Make a
raise?
performance roll. The DC is going to be 10.
Well, it's a -1, so that's a 2.
Yeah, they're not paying attention to what you're doing.
Did we get a race on Standia?
A race?
Yeah.
Human.
So on the book that's floating in front of me, I'm going to say, try this, see what that works. In Sylvan, assuming it might be Fae, possibly. We would like to borrow a book.
Make a persuasion roll.
And why not? 9.
The book pays you no attention. You can just tell it's just hovering, almost like an inanimate object. Sorry. So,
Guys, stand at the door. I'm gonna do something stupid.
Done.
Well, Jim, as I walk back, I look over at you. I'm like, were you able to read the pages?
It's moving. I can't read the pages.
And
If I can get the spell book I have to work, then yes. Until then,
Iona steps outside.
I'm gonna wait for you guys to step outside and hold the door down.
Alright, you going with your cookies out? There's lots of books in here, man. Lots of good books. You might find something interesting. But you noticed that there are some books.
Any books on dragons?
From where you're at, you can't tell unless you go to a bookshelf and look.
do you want to look for your book just in case we do all this?
I just look at this nearest bookshelf. real
let's
quick
see what
before-
happens when he takes the book off the shelf. We can always go back in.
That's true.
So what are you saying? Are you talking amongst each other? Or
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just look on this bookshelf real quick.
put your character in front of the bookshelf?
I will die.
Are you grabbing any random book, or are you going to take a look at what
Something that mentions something about dragons.
Make a perception.
That is a 11.
Right now, this shelf you're looking at talks about books on arcana, natural science, religion, astrology, planetary travel. There's some books you see poetry and stuff, but it's not that shelf. These books are still hovering around, very quiet-like, very angelic-like, but they're large, hefty books.
Ready, Sparkle?
Sparky, you can stay in there, look around.
Oh, what's your plan?
My plan is I'm gonna sprint in there and sprint out, grab the gold book, and see what happens.
Never been hit in the head by a book.
Yes, actually.
Sparky.
Have you and like you guys stand at the door, shut and slam it behind me, or stay at the door so in case something happens.
Already in action.
How is this book like facing Sparky right now?
The book is like not looking at you, but facing the door is open. So is this one, and they're just very gently hovering. Occasionally, a page will flip open. Spines are slowly moving back and forth. Books are always staying open. They almost look tranquil.
Do I see past the bookshelf?
Maybe you gotta walk over there. You gotta walk past that book.
Can I like press up against the bookshelf? Try not to be seen.
Make a stealth check. His passive is 10 higher.
14.
Okay. You do, and as you start moving, almost magically, this book actually slides a little bit out the way to let you go and pass. As you sneak, and it's very quietly, and the book sort of turns this way, and you get by to the side. What would you like to do?
Look around.
Okay. Make another. Let's do an investigation roll.
Investigation. That is a 17.
A lot of the books on here talk about arcana, natural sciences, religion. One talks about brown wormling dragons.
Go and touch it.
Naturalistic.
What's your passive? Your passive perception is that? Yeah. When you do that in the corner of your eye, this book sort of slides over here and watches you. You grab the book,
I inch closer watching the book.
and that book is just almost like a librarian, sort of facing you. Not really doing much. And then you guys are sitting there, it's quiet, and he disappears sort of from view. So you can't see him. So what would you like to do?
Put the gameplay on.
Yeah, fucking Sparky's on his own. You're running across.
Yet again, Sparky's on it.
Yeah, I'll run across.
This adventure is gonna be.
So make a, what's your?
My max speed is 120 feet.
And you're doing what?
Go over, grabbing the gold book, and sprinting back in one movement.
And the false one is on the ground.
So
Almost as fast as you're getting halfway across the road. This book is right in front of him. Puts its back against this gold book. So to get to that gold book, as you're running, you know you have to physically touch this large book to move it out the way. Is that something you want to do? Ready to roll. He goes running in. He goes in fast, but almost at the same speed. You guys see this book turn this way, and this book pops out this way, but their backs to both of you.
Immediately grab the book as soon as the other book.
Nothing happens. And it's a book that talks about a brown wormling dragon, very young brown dragons, how to raise them, how to feed them, the history of them, and all that stuff. Very valuable.
That's an exaggeration.
Just keep on going forward.
Okay, and now you're right at this large book, and it's massive. It's about half the size of this table. It's like a small gate book. It doesn't seem violent, but it's just hovering. But you can't see the gold book because it's really right up against it.
Let's do this book burns.
I'm all about it.
Try to reach for the gold book. If I have to push try to move the big book out of the way, see what happens.
Okay, you reach up. You actually touch the book, and it's cold to touch. Are you physically going to try to move it out the way?
Yeah.
At that moment, all the books converge on you. Roll for initiative.
Here we go.
Roll for 15.
I keep getting like
Okay, who got 15, 20?
18.
19.
What's your dex? Or initiative?
19, 18.
Oh, okay. So I'll go slightly.
17.
I'll get to witness your pummeling. Maybe.
What did you two guys get?
I got 7.
I got a 6.
Okay, results finally last. Alan, Ionis, these large books, these guardian books, Sparky, and Salt. Let's start. Alan, what would you like to do? And again, you have options, not just fighting, but...
Alright, so I'm gonna walk in directly, so these two are right adjacent to me. And I'm gonna thunderclap.
So the two right in front of you?
It's only within 5 feet of me. So.
Okay.
It's a con save.
Is that John or
Within 5 feet in any direction.
See, that's number 4 and number 3.
I think you're
Okay, number 4 rolled a 2. Actually, I'm gonna go with my red dice.
Oh no. Any creature that's
I'll do black.
5 feet must be. We're kind of outside the doorway now.
Yeah.
A 9, and then they both fail.
Alright. They take 5 damage.
Okay. And explain what your thunder wave does.
So I run in, I see them going to converge on Salt, and I jump into the room, and I was going to get the one farthest away, but in fear of missing and hitting you, I go ahead and just smash my hands together, and it sends out a bolt of force that impacts both of these guys.
Okay. And how much damage do they take?
5.
And number 3. There's a lot of boom coming from your hands, my friend. The books barely take any damage whatsoever. At that moment, the bookshelf you're at starts crawling right on top of you. You need to make a dexterity saving throw of 15.
Dex?
Yes.
That's a 13.
The entire shelf falls on you. Massive books cover your entire body. You are restrained. Next turn to escape. Okay. Ionis, you're up. And this bookshelf also falls that way. So these two ways are impassable.
I'm going to take a torch out and walk into the room and look over to you.
Are you going to actually light it?
Yep. Okay. Light it. I go.
That's going to be your turn to talk. So then,
As I walk by you, I'm like, hey, but don't like fire, right? And
well, when you walk into the room and you start lighting it, the fire gets ignited, and then you hear going through past your left ear, and your flame goes out instantly.
okay.
So, but that was your turn. You're walking in, you have this torch in your hand.
And I'm gonna walk over here and do it.
The shelf is down, and you know somewhere Sparky is in the bottom of the shelf, covered all these books. Okay. Any other bonus action?
Oh.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. The book's turns. Here we go.
Hidden underneath.
Number 2 hovers towards you and goes towards your head. Goes to slam shut in your face. My dice. Does a 11 hit? Nope. Misses. 5 does the same thing. 15. No. Number 1 comes over. They're slamming and closing constantly towards your face. There's a 19. Eight, 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
He needs to make a dex save.
Okay. 20. 30, 20.
He passes, so he'll take half.
That is number 5.
And he will take 6 lightning.
Nice. Okay. This book turns to, who's this? There's a 7 hit. And this book turns. Yep. There's a 13 hit. Misses. And now it is, books, yep. Sparky, you're under there. So this says, with the bookshelf, strange creature for his turn, you need to make a strength saving throw to push your way out of there. That's 13.
Alright, I got a 14 on the die.
Nice. You start squirming out your way. Which direction you want to go, here or this way?
Seeing what's going on, I will...
You can't see what's going on. The bookshelf fell. So your turn is escaping and moving. That's it. Because your turn is...
Okay, so...
You have a choice.
Can I shoot over here?
Yes.
Actually, what do I see, like, with this?
Books everywhere. It's a mess. It's going to be a mess.
Alright, so I shoot over here, peek around the corner.
You see all the books hovering and dancing and trying to slam on top of the Catherine's head.
And I see this book that we came here to get. Grab.
How many movement? You have 30, right?
Yeah.
Well, you got up, so that's 15. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's... I'll probably just stick there for right now. You said I used my action to get out. Okay.
Alright. Salty.
I'm going to disengage. Go through here. Grab the book. And then, alright, so that's 15. I'm going to use my feeling agility.
Nice.
So,
now that whole area is covered with books. It's rough terrain. So double your speed, double your movement. Massive shelf you bring on top.
15. I still got 30. I can still move 15. So I can get to this door. Okay.
You get to that door?
Yeah.
Okay. Next up is top of the order, Alan.
I'm going to turn and stab this one with
Did you face it?
I would.
Number 3?
He tried to hit me in the face, so.
Number 3?
Yes, number 3, and so they take a shot for 23.
23 damage?
No, 23 to hit.
Oh, that is a hit.
Yeah. For 5 damage.
Alright. That is a hit. Not much, but it was a hit.
I am going to step back out of the doorway back here.
Okay. Opportunity attack for me?
Yep.
I'm gonna go with the right side. Does a 12 hit you?
It does not.
Okay, now put you guys outside. Next is Ionis.
Looks like I'm putting a dagger to a book. Okay. Take the dagger out, and I am going to attack the book. Turn around and attack the book. That's right behind me. And that's 13.
That is a hit.
And Yeah, that's right. 10 damage.
Which number is that?
I can't see. It's turned around.
Number 4. Okay. It is bloody.
Bloody books.
Yeah, this book's damaged now. Anything else?
Bonus. Oh, I don't remember the bonus action. Can I move?
That's a double terrain, so rough terrain rather. So
That's fine.
you're good. Out the door. Okay.
Yep. And I look at my buddy Salt and I'm like, I'll take it from
All
you.
right. So let me go to these books. This one levitates. You're outside, right?
I am.
This one levitates up and comes over here to you, Eris. Because a 9 hits you, it slams shut, misses. This book, let's see, 25. For the Catman goes up. You don't see the shelf that's on the side. Does a 14 hit you, and it misses. This one. Sparky is. You're so small in this rubble. Yes, you are. This one is going to. Let's see, they have
Never heard that.
30 feet. 5, 10, 20, 25, 30 to Ionis.
Yep.
Does a 19 hit you.
Yep.
6 points of bludgeoning damage. Number 1 flies over. 10, 15, 20, 25, exactly 30. Red now. Does a 13 hit?
No.
Misses. And number 2 starts hovering up. 5, 10, 15, 20. It's gonna go for you, Catman. Does an 8 hit? Oh my god, it's just nothing's touching this guy. He's untouchable. You're Teflon Salt. That's your new name.
Teflon Salt.
And that is the creature's turn. Top. No, it's Sparky. You're up.
That area is dangerous terrain. So
Yes.
I am gonna run across. So 5, 10, 15, 20.
Now this whole area, also fell over. So it's
So that,
yeah.
so just.
If you run right up the middle, it's no rough terrain.
Okay, so 5, 30. And an action to dash.
Okay.
So,
You're out in the hall.
yeah.
Salt, Teflon.
I'm gonna disengage. Go through the door.
I'll allow that to happen.
So that's 5 feet. 10, 12, or 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Back at this door.
Back inside.
Well, I'm right at the door.
Okay, and now it's Alan.
I'm going to attempt to draw some aggro. I'm going to shoot at number 5 with my crossbow. For
And it
10.
sails in the distance. 10, right? 10. It sails in the distance. Anything else, Alan?
No, not at this point.
Okay. Ionis.
I'm going to disengage out the door
Good. You're out.
and to the side where you are. Let me know if you need that as well.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You want to keep going? 30. You're good?
Out of curiosity, what did they see when they came out here? Just fast.
That is.
Mission accomplished.
Yep.
Got a boat.
Got 2 books.
Wait, yeah, it's
Stepping outside, this is a semicircular patio, gray flagstones. It's nestled on the side, but this entire area is surrounded by this indigo miasmic vortex. And as you're running by, you see no horizon, no other house. It's like space, but it's surrounded. You guys feel very alone and trapped. Go back into it. You hear the sound of a door closing over the last one was here. This door magically slams shut. And now you're back inside for you into this corridor.
So, what does the book say?
I've got the book actually.
Oh, yeah.
Here.
Alright, so I take the book and I look at the spine of the book.
You know, with everything that's going on, I'm almost tempted to, I don't know, just go in there and offer my soul to that weapon. It was simple idea.
He just looks at you and goes,
Did that book hit him?
you can certainly try.
Alright, so healing, helping each other. What would you guys? You have options now. You can go to a lower level or an upper level.
First, I look at the spine of the book and see if there's a letter on there.
Okay, let's see. Library. My friend, there is a letter. And as you turn over to the spine, and these books are really heavy, so if you're holding two of them, you're going to be at disadvantage on a lot of things. Okay. This book has the letter R.
So I open it to see if I can read anything
All
inside.
blank pages like the original.
This is bloody heavy. I wouldn't carry it.
Okay, I guess I will.
I give it back. Suggestion. If the big bad is downstairs, we should go upstairs first?
Yeah, I agree.
That's where Kitty Cat went.
Yes.
Okay. He's -1 intelligence. He's not making it.
So
I'm sorry, Sparky. Do you want to get more cookies?
I got hit by a whole bunch of
yeah,
books.
if he has no more cookies.
I'm very sad. I might make a stop.
Yeah,
On the way upstairs, I might
on the way up.
lean my way in.
You want to get some more cookies?
So collectively, we're all going to the second level.
Yes.
But I will ask him
For more
for something that he might have prepared.
And you'll get it. So what we'll do is we're going to take a break. Guys, go get some snacks, stretch your legs, and I'm going to set up the next map. So, with that said, we'll be right back. Hey, Walter, you can close it out, brother.
My legs have fell asleep.
No, it's.
The other groups that played,